เ It's time for North Dakota High School football. This live digital radio broadcast on the PSP network is brought to you by PNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, the Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Now, it's time for the countdown to kickoff on the PSP network.
We've taken the show on the road across the Big Muddy, a big matchup tonight in Mandan. Ranked teams, the top teams in the WDA, and this should be a dandy. Hi again, football fans, alongside Chuck Claremont, Todd Domeries, welcoming you to the PSP Network broadcast booth overlooking the Missouri River in Mandan, and we have number 1 Century, the Patriots, in town to take on number 5 Mandan, the homestanding Mandan Braves. Chuck, 2 teams coming in. Mandan's won 2 straight. Century's won all their games. Frankly, they haven't lost since 2018. So 2 teams heading in the right direction as we get kind of midway through the football season.
Yeah, I like the way this game matches up, Todd, as Mandan's playing really, really well, as you said. Is they've won 2 in a row, and they easily could be 4-0, losing by 3 to St. Mary's and by 6 points to BHS in the opener. And ultimately, Mandan only wish they could play BHS now after Isaiah Hoos is not around. So it's a Mandan team playing with a lot of mojo, some success, obviously, and beating Minot, I know, a couple weeks ago. That's just a Mandan team, I think, playing very well. And obviously Century, what can you say about them? They've won 4 of the last 6 state championships, and they clearly are the football program to talk about in the state of North Dakota. And, but this year, especially looking at last week at Dickinson, that 15-12 victory, I'm going to guess they went back to look at the film, and boy, they're happy to come away with a victory on that one of 15-12. So I think it's Century maybe limping in a little bit, and I think it's Mandan coming in with a little bit of chest up.
Yeah, and I guarantee you everybody in the WDA pulled that game film out and said, what the heck did the Dickinson Midgets did to slow down the Century Patriots? And it's a copycat league, right? Whatever Dickinson tried and was successful with, you're going to see other teams adopt that now. So was it a down game for Century, or was it a wake-up call, right?
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about that. I mean, to me, answer that question, to me it's a game that I think people have realized with Century is they're so conservative right now with their new first-year quarterback in Brady Dahl. Although 4 games into it, you'd think that the coach Wingelbach would open up the offense a little bit. But at this point, Todd, they have not. They've been ultra-conservative, so teams are just loading the box and saying, hey, go ahead, throw the football. And they at this point, they haven't. 49 times in 4 games, they have not opened it up. They've got some guys out there, and Renz and Tran and Sorensen and Arndt to throw it to. They got some athletes. There's no question there. But when you got a defense as good as Century does, I think their coach is saying, hey, we're not ready to take the governor off this offense yet.
Well, and what's amazing to me, Chuck, is the amount of talent that these 2 teams lost from a season ago. You want to talk about all-staters exiting the program. You don't have to look too far into the all-state nominations from 3A football to say, well, Century and Mandan were littered in there, and they've done a great job of reloading, as evidenced by the fact that these 2 teams have won 6 out of their 8 games thus far early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, Century alone. I mean, we talked about early in the season, the Langangs, the Garcia, Schaffner, Harvey, James the kicker, Martin, Johnson on defense. I mean, they were absolutely loaded for bear, and they just came back just as strong. And Mandan, sure, one guy specifically, you lose the heart and soul of a guy like Jackson Dutenheffer. And by the way, I walked next to him on the way in. Unfortunately, he had a jersey on that I won't discuss when he walked in, or a sweatshirt. But he looked like he's been in the weight room, and he looked like he's coming down here to root his Mandan team on. As a matter of fact, I think you probably see him on the field right now. Pretty wide. He's taken him about 3 yards down there in the 37-yard line on Jackson Dutenheffer. So he's one of the guys, obviously a huge loss for them, but they got guys back. They've stepped up, got a great junior class. And I know, talking in the pregame to Coach Todd Sheldon, he is saying, I like my football team right now. I like Max Carlson, how he's playing. I like my running game right now. I like how my defense is playing. So when you're a coach 4 games into it and you're saying positive things, that's good.
And how lucky are we in the capital city? I'll consider Bismarck and Mandan to be the capital city that we have had kids that are D1 quality just kind of exploding from the Bismarck-Mandan community. You look at what Andrew Langang has done. You look at what Jackson Duteneffer has done. You look at Schweigert now for the Century Patriots has D1 offers from the University of North Dakota and from NDSU. So, hey, we are just blessed right now with the football quality in the capital city and Mandan.
Yeah, Mandan's got some kids playing up at UND. I know Tanner Thorsness is getting some playing time, playing really well for UND on their defensive line. And so it's nice to get the names of these kids playing. Nothing wrong with playing at a Mary or Jamestown or Dickinson and those pieces, but to be able to see some of those kids now that you can look up to playing at the K-States and the NDSUs and UNDs and places like that, that gives a lot of kids some additional drive to work harder in the weight room and to get out here and say, you know what, I got opportunities potentially outside of high school football.
So good to have the folks at Tires Plus bringing you tonight's broadcast. When you're shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All the brands under one roof with guaranteed lowest prices. You can't go wrong with Tires Plus. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. So much more to come as our countdown to kickoff rolls on. When we come back, we'll take a trip around the WDA. We'll give you the latest WDA standings. We'll set up the schedule tonight as other games we'll be tracking on the BNC Bank scoreboard, and we'll give you our keys to the game. That and more. We're closing on the kickoff. Century in town to take on the Mandan Braves. More after this timeout on the PSP Network.
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
If you told me 10 years ago I'd be a dad, homeowner, and business partner, I wouldn't have believed it. There's lots of reasons I chose First Western.
Hey Lloyd, how are you today?
Locally owned, community invested, convenient, but most of all, whatever I need, wherever I am, I can count on them.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
Todd Armory's, Chuck Claremont, back on the PSP Network. We're live and direct from Mandan, North Dakota tonight. Beautiful venue at the Starion Sports Complex. Nice night for football as we get set for the Mandan Braves, number 5, Mandan 2-2 on the season, and number 1 Century, 4-0 on the season. The Patriots riding a 26-game winning streak, which, Chuck, let's talk about that winning streak for just a moment. We were digging into the annals of 3A football and Class A football in North Dakota, and there's not too many winning streaks that have eclipsed 26 games in the history of North Dakota football.
Now you look at Bismarck High back in 2011 to 2013, where they had 28 games that they won in a row there and a couple championships. And Fargo South, they've ran up 3 streaks of 23, 24, and 25 during their runs in the 70s and 80s. And so you go back to 1975, TD, and really it's Fargo Shanley's 35 back in 1975 to 77. That kind of when you talk about the modern record, the modern era, and I mean Century, that's not unheard of that Century could get there. Right now we said they're running off 26 straight, last loss being the Bismarck High back in the championship of 2019. So, I mean, it's a Century team that they're not thinking streak, but I can tell you, us as broadcasters, we're thinking streak. We're watching that, and this is a Century team that we know that they have the wherewithal to run the tables, but they're not looking past this game tonight.
Couple games that we're watching tonight on the BNC National Bank scoreboard has West Fargo Cheyenne at Legacy. That's another game you can catch on the PSP network tonight. Just go to psp.network, click on Listen Live, and tune in. Scott Woodmansey and Myron Schultz on the call over at the Sanford Sports Complex in Bismarck. Other games we'll be tracking tonight. Bismarck High is at Davies. Minot is at Williston. And then single A games tonight in Class A has Turtle Mountain at Valley City, Jamestown at Shanley, Wapaton at St. Mary's, and Dickinson at Watford City. The latest Class A, the 11 AA poll has the Century Patriots number 1, West Fargo Cheyenne number 2, Fargo Shanley is number 3. West Fargo is also tied with Shanley as number 3. Number 5 is Mandan, receiving votes Davies and Legacy. So number 1 versus number 5 tonight in the poll, and Century in the WDA standings as 2-0. Mandan right behind him at 2-1. So it's a number 1 versus number 2 game in the WDA, and number 1 versus number 5 in the poll. Right now, let's take it down to the field, and you're going to get the playing of our national anthem, the Mandan High School Marching Braves, under the direction of John Bauman. Well, if that doesn't get you fired up, folks, I don't know what does, as the Mandan High School Marching Braves get to have the marching bands out tonight, a nice crowd. This is a highly anticipated matchup, always a good one. Bismarck and Mandan, the rivalry. Doesn't matter if it's Bismarck High playing Mandan, doesn't matter if it's Century playing Mandan, people will come out in great support of these two football teams.
You know, and Todd, you talk about the crowd, so it's a decent crowd. Great job with Century. There must be a whiteout today or whatever the situation is, but I can't help but look at the venue we got right here and think of how blessed Bismarck Mandan is. Phenomenal field right here, obviously over at the Bismarck Community Bowl. Legacy has a full turf field. You know, I mean, just amazing the facilities that we have out here, and for these guys to be able to play on in an unbelievable setting like this is pretty special for high school athletes.
Before we get set for the starting lineups, let's talk about the weather tonight. Is obviously a little bit of a breeze, perfect temperature for football. That won't impact the game at all, but there is a slight breeze, and Mandan's a team that likes to throw it up and around the field, so will that impact the football game?
Yeah, you've got a kind of a west-northwest, so you got it's kind of quartering from the left to right as we're looking out on the field. The field sits north to south here on this area for the Starian Sports Complex, and I mean ultimately it definitely could affect somebody. It's right now at about 15, gusting a little bit. It's supposed to slow down to about 7 to 10 miles an hour, which is going to make a difference. But surely early in the football game, whether it's punts, Todd, whether it's kickoffs, whether it's throwing the football, it is going to make a little bit of a difference.
Let's talk about some keys to the game, Chuck, as you and I were breaking down the matchup. Obviously, it's two teams that are on a roll coming into this thing, and boy, they've both gotten off to good starts in football games. So whichever team can kind of get their right foot going forward in this one is certainly going to have an advantage.
Yeah, you talk about, so I think, over 60 points scored by Century in the first quarter alone, and have not given up a point. And Mandan's close to 40 and given up just a touchdown. So, a quick start is going to be a major key to this football game. And, where's it going to come from? And the one thing when you take a look at the offensive side of both these two teams, TD, to me they've got one of the premier running backs in Peyton Arndt for the Century Patriots, and you got one of the premier quarterbacks in Max Carlson for the Braves. So you got two really dynamic football players on offense on both those sides. And you throw in a Carson Jablonski, maybe, one of the most dynamic receivers out there, where he's got almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 22 catches. So you got a lot of athletes out there in the field. And to me, you talk about that key and getting started quickly, and that is going to be a big one.
How about the ability for Century? They've already had to guard a dynamic wide receiver this year in Carson Hagerly for the West Fargo Packers. So how much does that help when you try to get ready to tangle with a good quarterback in Carlson, and then you got receivers like Jablonski and Frank that can do things for Mandan?
Yeah, repetition is huge, and there's none better in terms of a receiver in the state than Carson Hagerly. I see he just announced that he's going to NDSU too. He just announced this week, so congratulations to him and their family. But yeah, when you go against a guy like that in a game, Carson Jablonski's good, but he's not quite that level yet. And clearly, from a defensive perspective, you're going to be prepared for that. And Century's, they got some guys at every level, TD, when you talk about defense. So between Renz and Bjornsson, or Brynjolfsson, I already said it once already. Brynjolfsson, Erickson, and Hendricks in that backfield. They got a good secondary, and they're going to need it tonight.
Mandan won the opening toss, and here's their offensive starting lineup. At the split end position will be Carson Jablonski. Your flanker is Ty Frank. The tight end is Aaron Grubb. Up front, the Braves look like this. Left tackle is Turner Locken. Left guard is Brady Bain. Your center is Seth Gerhardt. Right guard is Owen Gress. Your right tackle is Hunter Corbin. Fullback is the senior Sam Barr. Lincoln Wiseman has come on strong here as the tailback. He was injured early in the season, had 28 carries for 2 touchdowns and 158 yards against Minot in their last game. So that junior is coming on strong for Mandan at the tailback position. And then the junior quarterback, the 6'3", 190-pounder leading the WDA in passing is Max Carlson. For that Century defense, they'll play a 3-4, and that 3 up front is sturdy, as you've got the nose guard is Jacob Burkhart. Your right tackle is Lucas Schweigert. Left end is Jackson Walls. Check that, it's a 4-3, I beg your pardon. And then the right end is Jaden Braun. Your 3 backers in the lineup are good ones, and you'll see Mansmith in the backfield a lot. Jacob Bosley's a returning All-Stater. Seth Nelson is a linebacker. And in your corners, Ryan Brynjolfsson and Jacob Renz Island. And then the strong safety, Braden Hendricks, and the free safety, Tate Erickson for the Century Patriots. And we are just about set for kickoff. Chuck, any final thoughts before we get this one rolling?
Well, one thing we didn't talk about special teams, and I think that's one of the keys too. Is I was watching Sarah Burgum kick 40-yard field goals with the win, so that's big in terms of a kicker. I know they got Alex Wegner for a Century, or Alex Wegner kicking off for Mandan, but the punter for Century, look out for him too. And in Parker Segsding, 37 yards a kick. I think that's going to be, he could be one of the keys to the game as well, TD, in special teams.
Osman with a run up on it, and Paul puts a boot into it. It's a deep end-over-end kick, and it's going to sail over Carson Jablonski's head, and it'll be 1st and 10. That's a pretty good kick into the, or is that with the breeze, or is that into
with the breeze?
Okay, good. Thank you. I was like, man, that was a heady shot if he knocked that baby into the end zone, into the breeze. But it'll be quartering out of the north tonight, so Mandan moving south to north now into the wind. Braves won the toss, took the ball, and their junior quarterback, Max Carlson, leads them out of the huddle. He'll send Jablonski right, Frank to the left. And out of the pistol is Carlson with Lincoln Wiseman standing behind him. 1st and 10, Mandan from the 20-yard line. Snap back to Carlson. Quick hitter. He's going to go deep down the far sideline. He throws it well over the head of Carson Jablonski. Step for step was Ryan Brynjolfsson with Jablonski, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for Mandan.
Yeah, just went kind of a little out and up TD and tried to get a little air into the football, and great job by Brynjolfsson on that corner, using that outside boundary to help support him as an extra guy in the double team.
Mandan misfires on 1st down. 2nd and 10 from their 20. H-back to the left, tight end to the right of the formation, and a receiver to each side. Carlson, snap is back. Looks to his left, throws. Frank has it, caught at the 26, falls ahead to the 28-yard line. Tripped up there by Jacob Renz, but it's going to be a good gain on second down. Sets up 3rd and short for Mandan.
Well, 2 plays, 2 passes for Mandan. They're testing those corners right away. They went to the right side at Bryn Jolfson the first time. Now they went to the left side on a stop route.
Wiseman, the lone running back in the formation on 3rd and 1 for the Mandan Braves. High snap, it's bobbled. Carlson has to scramble, gets away from one guy, and with an athletic play, Max Carlson is going to have a first down. Boy, that could have been disaster for the Braves, and instead they move the chains, get a first down.
Yeah, Hendricks knocked him out, but you're right. It just showed his athleticism. He spun out of the play, and I know that Lucas Schweigert thought he had a chance. Had him a little bit of a juke there by Max Carlson. The quarterback put his head down, got that first down.
Frank and Jablonski wide out to the near side, the short side of the field. Carlson has the snap on 1st and 10 from the 32. Handoff, right side stretch play. They give it to Wiseman, and he's bottled up. A host of white jerseys there for the Century Patriots, led by their nose guard, the junior Jacob Burkhardt.
Yeah, the stretch play, a couple tight ends there, just ran the ball to the right side and said, okay, we've thrown the ball a couple times, let's play a little power football. And, 3 yards on first down and a power football, that's not bad for Coach Todd Sheldon.
Century, just the team that gives up just 53 yards on the ground on average per game, so Mandan still trying to run it, and they'll hand it off to Wiseman again. Tries the left side this time. Tripped up at the 35, falls ahead to the 37. Going to be about a 3, maybe a 4-yard gain, and it's going to be the linebacker Ben Mansmith there to tangle him up.
Yeah, you talked about Mansmith, Todd. Shot in on that A-gap, went down low, tripped him up, and couldn't tackle him, but he surely slowed him down.
Well, another 3rd down and manageable for the Mandan Braves on the near side hash mark. Carlson's going to send Burr as a fullback, lined up in an H-back formation. In the slot is Jablonski. Wide receiver way out in the flanker position is Ty Frank. Carlson and Century's going to send a blitz, and they blitz right into Wiseman, and they bottle him up. Loss on the play. Lincoln Wiseman is decked down by the defensive lineman Joel Edlund.
And Mansmith was there as well. Again, another blitz, so back-to-back blitzes by Mansmith right over in that A-gap on that right side. He went down low, tripped up Lincoln Wiseman, and then Edlin had came off that junior 6'5", 270-pound tackle that came in, and he mopped up.
Mandan will send Scott back into a punting formation. Big kick into the wind. Ben Jolfson's going to take it back at his 18-yard line, gets around the first man, twists off another tackle, and he's going to be game tackled at the 29-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Mandan gets 1 first down. Century's offensive unit will look like this. Up front, you got the All-Stater Lucas Schweigert at the right tackle. Jacob Burkhardt mans the right side. Jackson Walls, check that, Schweigert and Burkhardt on the right side. Peter Katie's your center. Walls is the left guard. Joel Edlin the left tackle. Kyan Sorensen's your tight end. Connor Trahan's the split end. Jacob Renz is your starting flanker. Bosley's the fullback. Peyton Arndt, the talented tailback, and the senior quarterback, Brady Dahl. Here comes a stretch play. Peyton Arndt trying to get to the boundary, and he cannot get there. Maybe a gain of 1 before he is strung out and decked down there by Rustin Mendenwald, the corner.
And the corner came up to Phil nicely. And boy, they had interference out front, Todd. They pulled Schweigert, that right guard, and it looked early on like it was going to be a big play with Arndt just trailing the play, and just a tremendous effort by the sophomore Mendenwald coming up, going down low, pulling down Arndt for no gain.
Mandan also plays a 4-3 up front. Turner Locken, Owen Gress, Brady Bame, and Aaron Grubb, the all-state defensive end. Palmer, Burr, Peel, the linebackers. Johnson, Mendenwall, the corner. Frank and Jablonski, your safeties. It's going to be a keeper and a run off the left side for the quarterback, Brady Dahl. He submarines his way out to the 34-yard line, maybe the 33, before he's tag-teamed down there by Turner Locken and Owen Gress, the right side of that Mandan defensive line, sturdy on that play.
Quarterback draws. Dahl just went back, took one hard step, put his foot in the ground, and went forward off the left side over Edlin and Walls. But nice job there by Gress and Locken. They got some size. It's size against size, TD. Sometimes Centuries overpowering teams with their size. Not going to happen against the Braves.
Century trips receivers to the wide side, one receiver to the right. Dahl's back to pass. Now he's going to roll and sprint out to his left. throws it, and he's got his man. First down caught. Nice play for Century out to midfield. That pass is hauled in by Trayton Hinderer, and that's a first down gain of 18 yards, and the Patriots move the chains before the safety, Jablonski, brings them down on a scoreless first quarter here with 7:47 to play on your BNC Bank scoreboard.
Well, Hinderer is he's on one of their favorite receivers off the bench, TD. That's his 8th catch of the year. As a matter of fact, he's a leading receiver, and a stop route on that outside. Somehow the Mandan Braves lost him.
Nice delivery from Dahl under pressure as well. Handoff's going to go to the fullback Bosley, and he squirts through a hole, and now he's loose to the 30, 25-20. Jablonski's going to track him down. Oh, no, he breaks a tackle, and all the way down inside the 5 goes Jacob Bosley, the fullback for Century.
I think they're going to say that he stepped out, Todd, at the 8-yard line, but what a run by Bosley, just right up the middle, showing his power. Great blocking by the Hogs up front, and he just rumbled and stumbled, did a little stiff arm, one guy out of his way, and almost got himself in the end zone. 42 big yards for Bosley.
Hinderer wide to the right, Ware wide to the left. Century with an eye backfield on first and goal from the 8-yard line. Handoff, second man through. Arndt's going to try to stop and pop. Nope, he can't get away. He drives it to the 5-yard line before he's knocked down there by Tri Frank. It'll be second and goal upcoming for the Patriots. Century looking to draw first blood here.
A deep handoff there to Arndt, and a little tippy tone there. Took too long to pick a spot, TD, and boy, Frank, the strong safety, he was right there in a perfect form tackle.
William Ware wide left. Renz, the receiver, to the right. Now Renz in motion, sets up twins to the left, right between the hash marks. Second and goal for the Patriots. Handoff Art, right down Broadway, and he fights his way inside the 5. Gets down to 4 for a gain of 2. Bottled up there by McCoy Keller, a reserve defensive lineman for the Braves.
Yeah, McKellar got the start the first couple of games, TD. Now he's coming off the bench. But boy, he's a good one, a junior at 215. Shed his blocker, was right there in the hole. Slowed down Art. Didn't completely tackle him, but sure slowed down him enough to help have some guys from the backside come in and help him out.
Century got a big third down conversion on this drive. Now the Mandan fans start the rumble. Third and goal for the Patriots from the 4-yard line. 2 tight ends in the formation. And it's play action. Dahl rolling to his left. Looks in the flat to Renz. Now Dahl's going to tuck it and scramble and keep it. And a touchdown. Century hits pay dirt. 4-yard gallop there by the quarterback Brady Dahl. And Century leads 6-0.
I like the option route. Coach Wingenbach loves rolling his quarterbacks out. Dahl goes out to his left side. First look is at Renz doing an out pattern. Renz is double teamed. He just stuck his head down and showed his 195-pound power and went right across the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown run.
Paul Osmond on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Duncan Tufty, Peter Katie's the long snapper. Snap is down, kick is up, and Osmond slings it through, and Century puts 7 on the board here on a BNC Bank timeout. On your BNC Bank scoreboard, 5:57 to play, opening quarter. It's Century 7 and Mandan 0.
Bank that's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
Would you enjoy waking up and not having to reach for your glasses? See clearly with LASIK from Bismarck LASIK. Imagine no more hassles or expenses of glasses and contacts. At Bismarck LASIK, our highly experienced LASIK surgeon, Dr. Stephen Wexler, and our state-of-the-art clinic can improve your vision through a quick corrective procedure that's affordable and life-changing. Book your free consultation with Bismarck LASIK. Call 701-222-2020, 701-222-2020, or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the
Paul Osmond with the ensuing kickoff. This one, again, with the wind at his back, sails over Jablonski's head. Century leads 7-0 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Impressive opening drive, Chuck, there, keynoted by that 18-yard completion on 3rd and 8 for the Patriots.
Yeah, and then you followed up with that with Bosley's 42-yard run. So you talked about getting started early, Todd. The Century defense stepped up, made a big stop, forced a punt by Mandan. After Mandan got a first down, and then Century went right down, 7 plays, a little over 3 minutes and 70 yards for the touchdown.
Century, folks, has now outscored their opponents 75-0 in the opening quarter. Still 6 minutes and change here to play here, but Carlson's back to pass. Looks, rolling, fires it into the slots, and was that ball caught? Oh boy, Ty Frank, a great catch in traffic. That's going to be 13 yards before he's knocked down there by the corner, Ryan Brynjolfsson.
I like the call as Max Carlson is, and he is such calm, cool, and collected. He rolled out. It was kind of a drop over the tackle, but got himself out of contain and then looked upfield, and literally he had Ty Frank really doing just a box out for that first down.
Mandan will spread you out. Couple receivers left, one receiver right. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Into the wind goes Mandan. They'll run a little lead option. They hand it off to Lincoln Wiseman, and he bulldogs his way for positive yardage out to the 37-yard line. He knocked down there and bottled up, grabbed onto, and hog-tied down by Jacob Burkhardt of Century.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Burkhardt. This guy's just a dude. Last year as a sophomore had 38 tackles and a couple sacks, and he's picking up where he left off last year. When you got Schweigert and Burkhardt in the middle, TD, and then you got Walls and Braun, I mean, what a great front four.
Mandan gets 4 yards on first down, sets up 2nd and 6 from the right side hash mark, wide side to the left of the quarterback Carlson. They motion Jablonski, and they'll hand it off to Wiseman, makes a move in the hole. Gets a couple yards out to the 40-yard line. Give him 3 is the hit made there by the middle backer, Jacob Bosley for Century.
Wiseman showed his a little elusivity there too, Todd, as somebody was in the hole right there. He planted that right foot, busted to the outside, avoided one would-be tackler, and picked up, a decent gain of 3.
Mandan on a 3rd down and manageable here. Mendenwald, the wide receiver to the left. Grubb in the formation as well. Quick hitter, and he's got Frank again. In front of Brynjolfsson. He's tied up, but it's a first down completion out to the 46-yard line. Give him 6 on 3rd down and 4, and a first down move the chains for Mandan.
I think Coach Todd Sheldon is saying that Brynjolfsson has really given him a lot of room on that left side between when Frank is lined up in front of him. It's kind of been Brynjolfsson on the left side, Renz on the right side, and they're really avoiding Renz Island right now and going right at Ryan Brynjolfsson.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Medicine Shop of Bismarck. They're proud to support local athletes. The Medicine Shop offers free delivery, and you can get your flu shots today at the Medicine Shop. Sam Burr usually winds up as a running back, but he's wide to the left. Now he'll motion. Snap back and a handoff to Wiseman. Tries a wide side run, and pressing the issue there is Jacob Renz. He tackles Wiseman down by the ankles, but Wiseman falls ahead for a couple. Boy, this Wiseman, he didn't play the first couple games of the year. He was injured, but boy, he's coming on strong for the Mandan Braves.
Yeah, the first game he sat out, it was a non-injury sit-out, and he's played the next 3 games, has averaged 100 yards a game in that last 3, and Coach Sheldon was talking before the game about him, really pleased with the effort and hard-nosed this kid is.
3:10 and counting to play here in the first quarter. 7-zip, Century leads. Mandan 2nd and 8. Carlson, subtle play action. He's going deep. And he overshoots his intended receiver, Carson Jablonski. Jablonski looks back for a flag. There might have been a little arm bar there by Brynjolfsson, but good coverage pretty much by Century, and an overshot ball there by the quarterback, Max Carlson.
I mean, that was just a little shoulder move, Todd. You saw that by the quarterback. A little fake out, and then he went up, and he had him beat. Carlson's got to put a little bit of air into the football. It's a couple times. You got to give your receiver a chance for that 50-50 ball.
3rd down and long for Mandan. Carlson out of the pistol. 3rd and 8. Snap is back. Century on a blitz. Throw it over the middle. Picked off. Jacob Bosley steps in front of the tight end Aaron Grubb, and Century forces a turnover here in the first quarter.
Grubb lined up on that right tight end, just did a simple upfield route. And I don't know if the quarterback, Max Carlson, was looking for a stop route, but I really think what it was, Todd, it was the pressure that he got from up in the middle by Schweigert and Burkhardt were both there in his face, and I'm not so sure Walls and Braun weren't coming at him too, so forced him to throw a little earlier. It was a holding penalty, but it's going to be declined, so not Century again. Gave up a couple first downs. I'm sorry, obviously, and then a big interception there.
Century, 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Dahl play action, rolling left. Got a man in the slot, caught. Jacob Renz just picked off a pass. Now he catches it at the 32-yard line. Big gainer for Century. Down to Mandan's 27-yard line. Give him 29 yards on the completion. Try Frank on the stop for Mandan.
Yeah, just, again, another rollout. The third time they've thrown the football, the third time they've rolled out to that left side and went right at those corners in Jablonski and Frank.
Century on the move. Nearing the red zone are the Patriots with 2:33 to play in the first quarter. Now a pre-snap penalty. It's going to be a false start on the Century Patriots. Their first penalty of the night.
The Mandan fans like the false start penalty.
Hey fans, tonight's game brought to you also in part by Chuppy Clinic of Bismarck. They offer more than just basic adjustments of the spine. Find them online at chuppy.com. 1st and 15 for the Patriots. And Dahl is rolling out to his right. Well, they like that wide side throw, and they got Renz again. Bobbles it, but he grabbed it. No, they say, because could not corral it. Falls incomplete at the 21-yard line. Coverage by the safety, Carson Jablonski for Mandan.
Good job by closing on that with Jablonski as Renz was open a little bit. He came in, hit him hard, caused Renz to bobble the football, could not get his feet in bounds.
Century's found something on the exterior of this Mandan defense. They've had guys on the perimeter, Chuck. Those kind of mid-range out patterns have been open thus far for Century.
And I like how Coach Wingenbach's opening up a little bit too. You know, put them on the rollout. That's 4 times they've rolled them out. 3 they've passed it, 1 they've ran.
Brynjolfsson along with Schmidt wide to the right. This time Dahl's under pressure. Into the slot. Now it's picked off by Tri-Fank. And the teams trade interceptions. Stepping in front of the intended receiver there. Frank picked it off. The pass was intended for William Hermanson. Little drag route by a tight end, but back-to-back interceptions on alternating possessions, and Mandan gets the football right back.
Yeah, the pressure, I think, forced him into it, but it looked like Todd, like he threw it right to him. It looked like he had Hermanson actually open on the inside, and maybe just as he's rolling out, the ball just kind of flared on him a little bit.
BNC Bank scoreboard, 7-0. Century leads, 2:07 to play first quarter. Mandan now 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. Snap is back. Carlson, short drop, throws it low. Is that corralled? Yeah, nice grab by Tri-Frank. Out to the 47-yard line, give him 12. Little stop route in front of Jacob Renz. And a good shoestring grab there by Tri-Frank.
I like the throw, too, by Carlson. He threw it that low and outside spot. You can't say enough about that, Todd. You throw it where the defender is not.
Yeah, there's only one guy who's going to catch that, and it was his receiver. Good spot for Carlson. Good grab for Frank. 1st and 10, Mandan. Waning seconds of the first quarter. Oh, there's a bad snap. Who's going to get this baby? It's going to be Lincoln Wiseman falling on it all the way back at the 29-yard line. That's a couple times now that Mandan has misfired on that quarterback pistol snap, and that's going to be a big loss for the Braves.
Yeah, Gerhardt to center, that's one of those things, I mean, that should be like second nature. But you know what? When you got Burkhardt and Schweigert in front of you, Todd, guess what? You're a little distracted. Yeah. And the job of hiking the football, I'm sure Coach Sheldon's going to talk to him and say, hey, first you hike it, then you worry about Schweigert and Burkhardt.
2nd and a mile for Mandan. Twin receivers to the right, Carlson rolling right. Got time, into the slot, throws it high. Nice grab there by Luke Darris. His first catch of the night for the Mandan Braves, out to the 42-yard line. That's 9 yards back for Mandan as Brynjolfsson shoves him out of bounds.
Yeah, what I like about Luke Darris is that, I mean, that's his only second catch of the season, Todd. I know when we were doing the game early in the season, we said, hey, here's a kid, that athlete, good basketball player, 6'3", big body, and ultimately I like the fact they're going right at him.
Yeah, he went up and got that one. That was a high delivery by Carlson. Sets up 3rd down and 14 now for Mandan. Twin receivers left. Carlson has a snap, rolling left. Stops in the pocket. Fires it into the slot, caught. Nice grab there by Carson Jablonski in traffic. He's close to the first down yardage. He got pinballed there, hit first by Tate Erickson, the free safety, but I think they're going to give him a first down.
You talk about throwing it into a small window, Todd. Quarterback Max Carlson rolled out to his left, set up, cocked through an absolute fastball into a window about 3 feet wide, and great hands by Carson Jablonski, pulls it in, picks up a big first down.
Yeah, well done. 3rd and 14, and you get 14 and a half. Just enough for a first down for the Mandan Braves. After that snap over the quarterback's head, you didn't think Mandan was going to convert that, but 2 completed passes, and the Braves have a new set of downs. 40 seconds to play first quarter. Mandan into Century's territory for the first time, and a misdirection handoff. And there goes Brendan Palmer. Brendan Palmer, a little H-back reverse there for Mandan. Misdirection. He's knocked down by Braden Hendricks, the strong safety, but a positive gain of 4 on first down for Mandan.
Yeah, Palmer lined up at that right slot. Quarterback stepped back up, and an inside handoff to Palmer coming to the left side. And, yeah, nice little misdirection. Got to make those little change-ups, too, make those guys up front, a little trap blocking.
And I think Coach Todd Sheldon just said, you know what, let's let these final 10 seconds run off. We'll take the wind at our back. And we've reached the end of our first quarter of play. On your BNC Bank scoreboard at the end of 1, it's Century 7 and the Braves from Mandan 0. We're back after this break on the PSP Network.
Preventing injuries and saving lives by offering hundreds of safety courses. The NDSC helps workers return home safely every night and make sure schools are ready for any emergency. Our first aid training and defensive driving courses help save lives. We empower people through personal protection courses and operational risk assessments for businesses. We're a private, nonprofit organization committed to making North Dakota's homes, schools, communities, workplaces, and roads the safest in the nation. Learn more at ndsc.org.
Have real questions about your future? Here's your real answer. PSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
Todd Domrey's, Chuck Claremont, Nick Holberg back at the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan, just starting the second quarter of play. Straight ahead run for Mandan on 2nd down and 6. They get a couple yards, run by Lincoln Wiseman.
On the carry.
And it sets up 3rd down and now 5. Make it a long 5 for Mandan.
And
Wiseman, 8th carry already. Wiseman, unfortunately, was the recipient of the 17-yard loss as he fell down on it. So he still is in negative territory. 8 carries minus 2 yards.
Jablonski to the left, Frank to the right. Carlson out of the gun on 3rd and 5. Stands tall in the pocket. This one is batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Carlson's pass, knocked down at the line.
That might have been big Jacob Burkhardt that got a hand on it. Maybe it was Joel Edlin. There you go. Good call there, partner.
Yeah, Joel Edlin at 6'5". You know, one thing, if you're a defensive lineman, you're Todd, you hit that rush, whether it's a bull rush, whether it's a swim, you name it. When you get stopped, then you look at the quarterback and you time it, you jump up. And that's exactly what Joel Edlin did. He used that 6'5" frame to knock it down, forced a big 4th down.
Big 4th down coming up here for Mandan. Reminder, after the game, we'll have our Jobbers move of the game. Jobbers Moving and Storage with locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. And now a timeout. Head coach Todd Sheldon with the play clock dripping down, burns a first timeout. That's a Hub International Insurance timeout on the field. Call Hub International Insurance today for all your personal and business insurance needs. BNC Bank scoreboard, it is Century 7, Mandan 0, 11-11 to play in the first half. We're back after this timeout on the PSP Network.
Clock sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open. 4-3. Unload. She scores. PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter at Network PSP and on Facebook at the PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Fourth down conversion play coming up here for Mandan. 4th and 5 to be exact. They got to get to the Century 33-yard line for a first down. Carlson back to pass. Got a combo route. Carlson's now throwing it into the flat. He's got Jablonski. Caught it at the 30-yard line. No, bobbled late, and it squirts out of Carson Jablonski's hands. Century Seth Nelson, the outside backer, on the coverage, and it'll be a turnover on downs for the Mandan Braves.
Well, you got to come up with that, Todd. As a good throw. I know it was low, but Jablonski was right there as he did an out route about the 30-yard line, got past the first down marker. The ball was there, hit him in the hands again. That's Carson. He's got about one big miss every game.
Century takes over after a defensive stop. Patriots still have not given up a point in the first quarter this season, and Patriots handed off second man through Peyton Art. Not much there. Hemmed in by that defensive line of the Mandan Braves. Might have been Aaron Grubb, the returning All-State defensive lineman, put a first black hat on him. Well, we'll give Arndt a gain of 1 on first down.
Just 6 yards for Arndt in this first half. He's leading the West region. Arndt's got 9 touchdowns, 396 yards.
Yeah, Isaiah Who's still leading the West region in rushing yards. Yeah, he hasn't played in
2
3 games.
Yeah.
2 games, yeah, I beg your pardon. Dahl back to pass, quick hitter. Oh, and that's picked off. Picked off and going the other way is the Mandan Braves. Can he get to the pylon? Touchdown! Jackson Scott with the pick 6. And Mandan is an extra point away from tying this baby up.
Jackson Scott stepped in front in a flat pass at about the 40-yard line, maybe the 41-yard line, and went all the way to the house. Nobody could catch up to him. Jackson Scott was doing his best rumbling and bumbling in that corner. So you talk about, in the pregame, we talked about being conservative for the Patriots. Throwing, well, they've opened it up a little today. And guess what? Dahl's thrown 2 interceptions, that being a huge one. An INT return for a touchdown.
Sarah Bergamon for the extra point. Swings that right leg through, and it's good. And just like that, we're tied at 7 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. A pick 6 for Mandan's Jackson Scott. We break. Touchdown timeout. 10:18 to play. First half. BNC Bank scoreboard. It's Mandan 7, Century 7. Back after this break on the PSP Network.
High School Football Booster Program.
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash leader valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Mandan gets a defensive score for their first points of the night.
For the Braves, number 91, Alex Wagner.
Now with the ensuing kickoff, Mandan will run out Alex Wagner. Deep kick is going to send Jacob Renz back. He's got 2 touchdowns returning the football already this season, but this time Renz is going to be slammed down at the 19-yard line. Good special teams coverage there by the Mandan Braves kick return unit.
Patriots will start 1st and 10 from
the Patriots will take over 1st and 10.
Well, back-to-back throws by Brady Dahl resulting in interception. So you take a look at Century, Todd. They've had this is their 4th possession now of this first half. The first one, they went 70 yards, ended up with a touchdown run by Brady Dahl, and then that last 2 have ended with picks.
Now, Century's had a hard time running the football and have thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. Now it's a straight-ahead run for Peyton Arndt. And he gets skinny in that hole, and he runs it out to the 25-yard line, gain of 5 before McCoy Keller will bring him down there.
Stop made by McCoy Keller for the Braves.
Good hard run by Peyton Arndt. That's one thing that sometimes you talk about Arndt not wanting to maybe get inside. He loves the outside yards, but boy, he showed his strength right there. He just stuck his head down, picked up 5.
BNC Bank scoreboard update coming up in just a second here. As Century, a pet play of theirs, they toss it wide side and nothing doing. Arndt is belted down in the backfield, and that looked like that might have been Sam Burr laying a lick on Arndt right there.
Yeah, they said Jackson Scott was there as well, and yeah, that's just a big play. You said it right, Todd. Coach Wingenbach loves that little toss play, and so does Peyton Arndt, because he has an opportunity to kind of take a look at the defense, bust outside, uses 4.47 speed.
Century on 3rd down and 5. Oh, now you're going to get a false start. Click Burkhardt, the right tackle, come out of that stance, and it's going to be 3rd down and long now for Century. And Chuck, now I wonder how aggressive you're going to be when your QB, the last 2 throws that he's made, he's thrown it to a black jersey.
I got a feeling it's going to be something extremely conservative, whether it's a delayed handoff, a rollout by the quarterback where you have an opportunity for maybe it's a design rollout, but you're just kind of turning it up yourself.
8:55 to play in the first half. Tied up at 7 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. Century facing a 3rd down and 10. Dahl is back to pass. Going to be a little screen. They dump it out. And not much there. Century's pass is completed to Peyton Arndt. And he is hit early and hard by Sam Burr. And that's actually a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, I can tell you, Sam Burr, as a middle linebacker, he probably had man-to-man coverage on Arndt. They've seen that play a lot of times. They love throwing a little to Arndt as he's caught 5 receptions already, just getting himself in the flat. But boy, great coverage by the Mandan Braves, specifically Sam Burr, as he brought him down for a loss on the play.
Central punted away. Paul Osmond back to punt, their normal punter. Parker Sagsveen out of the lineup, and now is that going to be a pass? I think they're going to call that a pass, but nonetheless it's an incompleted pass, but it's going to be a huge play for the Mandan Braves. Osmond couldn't get that high snap. Katie's the long snapper. I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass, so Mandan will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, folks, and the Braves will have it in the red zone.
Mandan defense stepping up, a little bit of mojo here in the Mandan side, as you said it, that bad snap, and Osmond couldn't recover. I didn't see. So Sagsveen, yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus. He did all 3 of them. So
ouch.
Happened in a JV game earlier for the Century Patriots. So Osmond now punting. He's the kicker, the place kicker for Century. But the Zebras and our white hat Jed Steiner are sorting this baby out, and I think they're going to call that incomplete pass. Yep. So Mandan will take over at the 20-yard line. Nonetheless, it was going to be Mandan football.
Now, is it incomplete pass? Is it an eligible men downfield because you've got guys, or is it, you know what I mean? You got everybody taken off, but.
Well, there comes the Mandan Braves. They bunch it up. 2 tight ends into formation. Palmer the lone setback. They'll hand it off. Brennan Palmer right into the teeth of that Century defense, and he gets a couple yards. Down to the 18-yard line. Bottled up there by a host of Patriots. And might have been the free safety, Tate Erickson, the junior, on the hit first for the Patriots.
Yeah, they got some big guys in that backside, TD, with Erickson coming in at 6'3", 190, and Braden Hendricks at 180. So those guys are not afraid to come in and put a pop on you.
Mandan.
For the Patriots. 2nd down.
2 tight ends and an H-back, not a receiver to be found in this formation. Palmer beside Carlson is going to be a quarterback design run for Carlson. And that Century defense is stiffening here. There's no gain on the play. Mandan's now going to send all the receivers back in and say, okay, we tried that for 2 plays. We got 2 yards.
The big guys weren't buying that. You tried to run to the right side over Burkhardt, the nose guard, and Schweigert, that right tackle. And there was a big pileup, let's just say, between 2 white jerseys and 4 black ones.
Lincoln Wiseman back on. Tri Frank back on. Jablonski back in. Mandan will spread you out. Grubb is going to split out wide to the right. Slot receiver is Luke Darris to the right. Mandan on 3rd down and 9. Back to pass Carlson, throwing it to the lone receiver on the far sideline, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Tri Frank. Bosley was step for step with him, but boy, that looked like it got a lot of the hands on that play for Tri Frank. Pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, Jacob Renz was on that corner, Todd. It's hard to look at those numbers in 8 and 3, but yeah, Renz was man-to-man, but Renz had his back to the throw, so it was kind of a back-shoulder throw, and one of those that I think Tri Frank wishes he could come have a try again, because the ball was, I think, pretty well thrown.
Well, here you go, Chuck. You said Burgum was knocking him through from 40. This will be a 34-yard field goal attempt for the Mandan kicker. Snap is back, kick is up, it's blocked. And now it's going to be picked up and returned. And there goes Trayton Hinderer, and he is gone. A blocked field goal and picked up and ran 70 yards for the Patriots. And a special teams core put Century on top 13-7.
Well, Burgum drove it low, and boy, the Century inside, it was an absolute jailbreak. It was blocked. I don't know if Hinderer got the block, but he sure picked it up in the backfield, and there was nobody around him. And you got everybody screaming, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And he turned and went.
He had
70 yards.
He had a convoy, too, as Century, after Mandan puts a pick 6 on the board, Century, a blocked field goal. Hinderer picks it up, and I'm going to call it 70, but we'll officially check that in just a moment, as Osman will come on to try to tack on the extra point.
I was that's probably right, Todd, because she was kicking from the 28-yard line, so it was a 38-yard field goal attempt.
That's what my eyes initially told me.
And it was just right behind her.
Osman swings that right leg through and bangs it through, and we got a touchdown timeout. Century back up on top. Number 1 Century, sporting a 26-game winning streak, leads on your BNC Bank scoreboard with 6:24 to play in the first half. It's Century 14 and Mandan 7.
Service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
BNC Bank scoreboard update. Games we're tracking. Cheyenne leads 22-0. Other scores that we have, West Fargo Cheyenne also leading Legacy 22-0, and Minot has an early lead at Williston 3-0. There's your BNC National Bank scoreboard update here. Century, courtesy of a 70-yard blocked field goal return by Trayton Hinderer, leads 14-7. Mandan, Wiseman, and Jablonski back deep to receive. Osman with the run-up. Century looked like they were offside. Yep, there goes the flag. And that ball is going to bounce into the end zone, and you're going to have an offside penalty on Century. And I wonder if Coach Sheldon's going to say, you know what, let's just have you boys kick that baby over again.
So you could get it on where? Into the end zone at the 25 or?
On the kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, might as well push it back. So I got some other updates, Todd. West Fargo's over South. Fargo South 7-0. At halftime, Shanley leads Jamestown. It's a big game, 26-7 at halftime. John Jablonski's listening to the game and doing the photos in the field. Got to like that.
He's got his ears on. We love it. Osman with the redo, the do-over on the kickoff after the Patriots were offsides.
It's amazing you turn the lights on. You can how different how different things are.
Osman with the run-up, swings that right leg through, boom. It's a deep kick fielded by Jablonski at the 6 to the 15, 20, straight ahead return, 25, 30, 40. He's got speed, folks, and he is gone. 20, 10, 5, Touchdown.
And there's no wandering the field, TD. 95 yards for Carson Jablonski. TD, what a job. We could see it opening up right in front of us. As he started going left, he cut it back to the right side, and I wished I could see one kid reached back and had one little left hand, caught it on the inside of the shoulder pad, freed up Carson Jablonski, and when he turned the corner to the outside, Todd, nobody was catching him.
You got that right, partner. He has got wheels. Sarah Burgum on to tack on the extra point. Just like that, the special teams, the defense rising up here at Starion Sports Complex tonight. Century gets a blocked field goal for a touchdown. Mandan returns the ensuing kickoff for 6. We'll keep this right here. 6:11 to play in the first half, and we're tied up at 14 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Followed by a Jackson Scott 41-yard interception return. So.
Yeah, exactly. That'll get the home crowds fired up for the Mandan Braves. Jablonski riles them up. Reminder, after the game, we'll have our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors are here to help you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit them online at planningteam.com.
TD, we give his dad a little love on the sidelines, and what happens?
Boom.
His son Carson gets it and takes it to the house.
I've seen the old man John get into the open field like that, and
can he run fast? Could he run fast in the days too?
I don't know. That would be close. They both can pick him up and put him down. I don't know. John's into his 50s now, so I bet you can't keep up with him anymore.
Guessing not.
Alex Wagner in the kick.
Alex Wagner will kick off. Now you better watch out here because Jacob Renz has already returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns here. So the Patriots have a dynamic return team as well. And Wagner's going to kick it in the end zone. Renz does not have a chance to return that one. And Uncle Mo has swung to the side of the Mandan Braves. We're tied at 14. 6:11 to play first half.
Well, I like how this game's going, Todd. We talked about it before the game started that, special teams are the last thing we mentioned right before the kickoff, and both teams right now have stepped up on the special teams with that blocked field goal and now that return for the kickoff for a touchdown. So how important is that third leg of football?
Century has Peyton Art, dot and I formation, 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff to the fullback Bosley, and not much there. Crashing down from his defensive end position was the returning all-stater Aaron Grubb. Denies that gain for Bosley just a couple yards.
I was talking to Coach Sheldon before the game saying, who is your leader? And he said, Sam Burr, without a doubt, is our vocal leader. He's the guy that's going to get in your face, and he's going to talk to you. But then there's Aaron Grubb. He's the guy in the field. He's going to do everything necessary, not going to yell at you, not going to get in your face, but he's going to put his arm around and talk to you, kind of the one-on-one leader.
Century has Ware wide to the right. Dahl's back to pass, off play action. And he's going to be sacked. Tracked down and sacked in the backfield.
Guess who?
Aaron Grubb, right on cue. Put a cape on that guy.
As his 5th sack of the season. He also has 7 tackles for losses, Todd. So well on his way to back-to-back All-States. As he was lined up at his left defensive end. They call him a tackle, but it's kind of a 4-3 defense. So he's really a defensive end. And the quarterback rolled out Brady Dahl. And I'm going to guess, TD, he's a little hesitant on throwing the football, rolling out right now, and held it, and he just ate it.
I thought I saw some receivers that he had a chance to get the ball to, but I think he's seen some ghosts right now, is Dahl. 3rd down and long for Century. This time Dahl's got time in the pocket, but now the time expires. Is that Grubb again?
It is.
Oh, what a series for Aaron Grubb, your senior defensive end. 2 sacks and a huge hit in succession for the Braves.
That's what it takes. You got to have senior leaders step up, and Mandan doing everything they can right now to try to deny Century with that 27th straight victory, 3 in a row for Aaron Grubb.
Century, last time they punted it in this situation, the snap was high. Osmond had to just eat it on an incomplete pass on the fire drill. Now the Patriots will punt it away from their own 14-yard line. This time the snap is good. Osmond, big, high kick. Try Frank, fair catch. That is, he bobbled it, he muffed it, but he fell on it. And it's going to be at the 40-yard line. Good kick there by Osmond.
Yeah, really good kick.
Wind has died down apparently because that was a booming punt for Osmond, and Mandan will take over at their 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's flag's almost limp right there, Todd. Yeah, high kick, and I think Frank probably would have had a chance to return that one, Todd, but I'm guessing his special teams coach said, hey, let's just make sure we catch the football, give us an opportunity here before halftime to see if we can't get another score.
It's a pretty good kick by the senior Osmond. He hasn't punted a whole lot, but that was a beauty.
46 yards, Todd.
Yeah, no return. Mandan 1st and 10. We're tied at 14 with 4:38 to play first half. Handoff Lincoln Wiseman. Squirts through a hole on the right side. Stumbles, gathers, carries tacklers into Century territory. Goes Lincoln Wiseman, wrapped up there by Ryan Brynjolfsson. The corner. That's a 13-yard rumble for the tailback, Lincoln Wiseman.
Great blocking on that right side. Todd, we haven't said a lot about that offensive line, but Owen Gress, the right guard, he's just a junior, and Hunter Corbin, the sophomore right tackle, they went to the strong side too. They also had Grubb helping out.
Mandan into Century territory, 1st and 10 from the right hash mark of the Century 48-yard line. Snap is back to Carlson. Handoff Wiseman. Tries the left side. Flag flies in. No gain on the play is bottling him up. Was that Century defense?
Jacob Burkhardt.
First red hat there, and we'll sort out the penalty on 1st and 10.
The penalty's right on the line of scrimmage, so it almost feels like it's a motion penalty. It was by the side judge. So do you take that, Todd?
Yeah, I think you're going to push him back if it's a big one.
It's got to be just 5 yards.
We're talking to head coach Ron Wingenbach in his 32nd year. He's been making those decisions. As a reminder, after the game, we'll have our Sport Clips MVP of the matchup. Sport Clips located on South 3rd Street, and they're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Sport Clips brings you this game's MVP. It was an illegal formation. They had a tight end that was covered up, and it'll be 5 yards. Nope, it'll be declined.
Yep. So no, was it Wiseman again running that?
Yep.
So Wiseman 10 carries, just 10 yards.
2nd and 10 for the Braves from the Century 48-yard line. Out of the pistol is Carlson, quick hitter, slings it near side, caught. Frank collects near first down yardage. He's knocked down at the 39-yard line. Seth Nelson, the outside backer, after a gain of 9 on 2nd down, sets up 3rd and 1 for Mandan.
It's like the Carlson. I mean, he throws the ball to the right spots. You know, he had Nelson with that under coverage, with that support from the linebacker spot in the flat, and he just threw it to the outside, and Brynjolfsson had dropped too far.
3rd and 1 for the Braves from the Patriot 39-yard line. Got to get to the 38 for a first down. And we're going to get a break in the action. Coach Sheldon saw something he didn't like with that defensive alignment, and a Hub International Insurance timeout. Contact your local Hub agents, Leif Olson and Josh Cattell, for your personal insurance needs. We break. 3:20 to play first half. BNC Bank scoreboard, it is Mandan 14, Century 14.
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
3rd down and 1 for the Mandan Braves, and that play is blown up. Lincoln Wiseman hit hard and dropped down for a loss. It was Jacob Burkhardt, Ben Mansmith there to tag team him down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, let's take that play on 3rd and short and put that one away, TD. Because running up the middle against Burkhardt and Schweigert, and then you got Mansmith and Bosley and those linebackers, I'm going to keep it with the quarterback and take my chances with a rollout.
Yeah, Century, they only give up 50 yards rushing for a reason, folks, and now it's Coach Sheldon looks like he's going to roll the dice here. 4th down and 3. Big play here late in the first half. Carlson back to pass. Short drop, slings over the middle, pass tipped, knocked down. That's going to be Mansmith again. Got his big right paw on that. Pass falls incomplete, and now Century will actually have decent field position here on the turnover on downs.
Yeah, try Frank doing a a curl route right in the middle of the field, and Mansmith just dropped, got his nice 7-8 yard drop, read the quarterback's eyes, went up in the air, knocked it down. Could have been a first down, but just I like this Mansmith, Todd. We've called his name time and time again tonight.
Well, Century, will they try a little 2-minute offense here with 2:36 to play in the first half? Wind has died down, and the Patriots have it 1st and 10 from their 41-yard line. Brynjolfsson to the left, twin receivers right. Fake to Arndt. It's going to be a run for Brady Dahl, and he's hit high and low after about a gain of 3 yards right up the middle. Mandan,
Brady Dahl with the carry.
well, they've scouted this Century offense pretty well here, Chuck, as the Braves have pretty much denied that Century rushing attack here in the first half.
Well, once they stopped the throwing, Dahl was 2 of 3 in the rollouts, and he has been 1 of 3, 2 interceptions, and a loss of 1.
Wide side run. There goes Peyton Arndt. Can't get away. Knocked down by Tri Frank. Hit him at the 45, but Arndt falls ahead to the 49-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2 now for the Patriots with 1:50 to play in the first half.
And what a big play by Frank, Todd, because he was man-to-man on the outside with Renz, and Renz was blocking him, and he just shed him, went down low. Forced Arndt was trying to jump over the top of him with just a good, sure-handed tackle by the strong safety.
Century, 3rd down and 2 from near midfield. Got to get to the Mandan 49 for a first down. Keeper for Brady Dahl, and he pile drives his way for a nice run. Clock will stop momentarily as Dahl takes it to the Mandan 45-yard line. Grubb from behind hauls him down, but that's 7 yards on 3rd and 2 for Century.
Well, Mandan can't run it in the middle against the Century middle, but guess what? The Patriots, you got Schweigert, Katie, Walls, they just absolutely had a huge push forward, and Dahl, the 195-pound quarterback, with a big first down.
Now I would bet that Century's going to get aggressive here. 1st and 10 from Mandan side of the field. Dahl rolling out. He's got his man Renz. Caught it at the 35. Breaking tackles to the 30. He's going to be tangled up and brought down at the 29-yard line. Gain of 16 yards. And we got a flag on the play.
I don't know, somebody wanted a flag. It was Mendenwall. He's the one who made the tackle. Jablonski was the one who had the coverage. I like the throw by Dahl as he rolled out to his left. Todd just put an absolute strike.
Holding call will go against the Patriots.
So that's, I couldn't see. It's on the very far side of the field, the 45-yard line.
Yep.
So they're going to say, I guess, at the 46. So go all the way back to the 44-yard line. So a big penalty that denied a first down. A pass would have been first down and almost a 30-yard line.
1 minute to play in the first half. Century now pushed all the way back to their 44-yard line. They have it 2nd down and 21. Check that, first down and 21 yards to go. Dahl out of the gun. Play action. Deep drop, looking deep over the middle. Now he goes far sideline. He's got a man, Brynjolfsson. No, check that, that's Arndt on a wheel route. Yep. He caught it in stride, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 5. Huge play for the Patriots late here in the first half.
You don't get that, Todd, unless you have all kinds of time. Fake the handoff to Arndt. He goes in the flat, and he goes right upfield, and the quarterback throws it high in the air. A perfect throw. Arndt runs underneath it and gets just short of the first, or the touchdown to the 3-yard line, but a big 53-yard throw and catch.
Century with all 3 timeouts remaining. Out of bounds went Arndt. The clock stops with 48 seconds to play here in the first half. Handoff goes to Arndt, and the lane opens. He got close to the goal line. Touchdown! Century punches it in on a 3-yard rumble by the tailback Peyton Arndt. 10 TDs on the season now for Arndt, and Century grabs momentum here late in the first half.
Well, how big was that stop, Todd? 4th down at the 41-yard line. You roll the dice if you're Todd Shelton, instead of saying, hey, we want to give a Century. They've been doing nothing. They've been conservative, deep in their own end zone instead, or their own zone. Instead, you give them the ball at the 41-yard line, and they open it up, and they get a touchdown on you.
Century has Osmond on to attempt the extra point. Snap is back from Katie. Hold is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And Century with a late 7 here. 45 seconds to play in the first half. and Century capitalizes, and I wonder if that's going to be a play, Chuck, that Coach Sheldon on his own 40-yard line or so decides maybe I should have pooch kicked that one and tried to pin Century deep, because I bet you Century would have just kneeled on it.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you on that one, Todd. It's just, to me, it's one of the times you got to make a decision to say, when should I be conservative? And to me, that's the time, because now it's just an absolute dagger against your defense, where instead of going in with a lot of mojo, tied at halftime, now you're down 7.
Century gets a big pass completion to Peyton Arndt. He had a lot of receiving yards last year for the state championship team as a sophomore. Arndt played a little slot receiver. Cade Garcia obviously was the tailback for Century, but Arndt is an accomplished receiver, and boy, there's nobody faster when he gets into the open field. I actually thought Century had a guy open on a deep post route, and that's where my eyes initially went, but then Dahl saw very nicely that Arndt on that wheel route out of the backfield was open down the sideline. Century with a huge play. They punch it in the next play, 3 yards for Arndt, and Century leads by 7.
Yeah, Dahl had his eyes on that the entire time as he watched him, of course, and he let him get out past everybody and just threw a perfect ball way up in the air. We talked about Max Carlson not putting any air under it earlier for Mandan. Well, Dahl did exactly what he should have done. Put it up, let his running back run underneath it.
Osmond with a low line drive kick fielded by an upback at the 25-yard line. And returning it out to the 35-yard line is the Mandan Braves up man, and it'll be 1st and 10 Braves.
Brendan Hoost with the line drive. Shortstop catch. Hust, excuse me.
Yeah, as he carries it out to the 34. 14-yard return for Hoost, I beg your pardon. We'll get it right. Between the two of us, we'll hit it eventually here, Chuck. 1st and 10 Mandan, and the waning seconds here the first half. Braves now down by 5. Trips receivers right, one receiver to the left. Carlson, the big 6'3 quarterback, out of the gun. Snap is back, handoff, straight ahead. There goes Wiseman off the left guard, and not much there. Nope, that was not Lincoln Wiseman. Instead, it was Brennan Palmer.
That might be the last play, TD2. I don't see Mandan running another play. I'm sorry I blew up.
Tried to catch Century off guard. Mandan quickly back at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9. Little bubble screen. They got Jablonski in space. He bobbled it after he caught it. And is that going to be a completed pass after the catch? I think it is.
Jablonski's down, though, TD. Looks like he's holding his left leg. His nice tackle wrapped up by
Timeout for injury.
Injury timeout on the field. They're going to give Jablonski a completed catch.
Yeah, Trahan, sorry, on the tackle.
Out to the 45, make it the 46-yard line, so a gain of 11 for Jablonski. But more importantly, their talented receiver, the leading receiver for the Mandan Braves, the leading receiver in the WDA, shaken up, and he'll thankfully come off under his own power. So
I think I heard his dad yelling at him, "Get up, let's go." Rub some dirt on it, you're all right.
I didn't watch that play close enough, Chuck, but did he catch it and then drop it?
He caught it, and then he had all this opening in front of him, and when he looked ahead, he dropped it. It went right back up to him, though.
1st and 10 Mandan from their 46. Carlson out of the gun. Century's going to blitz Mansmith. Quick hitter, far side. Frank has it, jabs right, comes left, and it's going to be close to the sticks. Gamecock tackled there as the clock will run. And Mandan is just going to call off the dogs. No more plays. Mandan had one timeout in their pocket. They maybe could have got one more play off, but instead we have reached halftime in an entertaining first half that had a little bit of everything from the Starring Sports Complex in Mandan. Hope you're enjoying this 11 AA broadcast on the PSP network tonight. At halftime, on our BNC Bank scoreboard, it is the Century Patriots 21, the Mandan Braves 14. Our halftime activities come up after this break on the PSP network.
Radio broadcast presentation on the PSP network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
If you told me 10 years ago I'd be a dad, homeowner, and business partner, I wouldn't have believed it. There's lots of reasons I chose First Western.
Hey Lloyd, how are you today?
Locally owned, community invested, convenient, but most of all, whatever I need, wherever I am, I can count on them.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Mandan High School Marching Braves entertaining the crowd here at the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan. Good to have you on the PSP Network tonight. Hope you're enjoying our digital audio and webcast coverage tonight. At halftime, Century leads 21-14. And Chuck, right away, let's go through a quick BNC Bank scoreboard update. A lot of scores coming in from across the state. AA football has West Fargo Cheyenne leading 30-0 over Legacy. Last report from the West Fargo South game was the Packers leading. That's West Fargo 14, Fargo South 0. Minot on top of Williston 24-0. Shanley in single A football. Shanley's double A. Jamestown is single A. So Shanley leading 26-13. St. Mary's last report was leading Wahpeton 14-7. So there's your BNC National Bank scoreboard update here at halftime, Chuck, in a first half that had a little bit of everything. I mean, you had block kicks, you had pick sixes, you had kickoff returns, you had good big plays, stout defense in times, and just an entertaining first half of football.
Yeah, offense, defense. I mean, a couple sacks in a row by Grubb, big defensive pick six. Like you said, special teams. I mean, hey, you had the full meal deal tonight. Entertaining first half of football for both these two teams. I think it just shows that, Mandan, they are not afraid of the Century Patriots.
Nope.
I mean, they are showing today right here that, hey, they feel like they deserve to be on the field with the Patriots. And I think the Patriots know they're in for a battle here the rest of this football game.
Here's our upcoming schedule on the PSP Network. Of course, you got tonight, West Fargo Cheyenne and Legacy is our twin game, a doubleheader tonight on the PSP Network. Next Tuesday, we will have high school volleyball, Legacy at Minot. Volleyball coverage, the 7 p.m. first serve. Then Thursday night, another volleyball game as well as Century at Mandan. And then next Friday night, doubleheader football again for you as Minot will be at West Fargo Cheyenne and Fargo Davies will be right here at the Starion Sport Complex to take on the Mandan Braves. There's your upcoming action on the PSP Sports Network. And, of course, the debut tomorrow morning. Overtime with Scott Woodmansey on the PSP Network. I couldn't be more excited about getting that back engaged. A lot of great comments on social media, folks. If you aren't following us today, follow PSP Network on Twitter, on Facebook, and you'll hear all about the upcoming Overtime Saturday morning sports show with the PSP Network crew.
And sponsored by the Stadium and Lodge. Appreciate those guys to bring us back. As
Absolutely.
it'll be 4 when we were
Yeah, we'll
previous years we were there. And
we'll have coach interviews, we'll have former players, we'll have celebrities, we'll have everybody on that Saturday morning overtime session with Scott Woodmansey and the PSP crew from the Stadium Lodge in Bismarck. So, hey, when you're doing that housework, when you got the chores going on, tune it in on the PSP.network.
Hey, you're going to get to hear yours truly and Nick Holberg.
Yeah.
Scotty's going to interview Nick, I know, which is kind of cool for those of you who don't know what PSP Network and how it came about. I think that's a pretty interesting story and pretty cool for us that we got a chance to come to an organization like this for a guy that really cares like Nick does. And
absolutely.
I mean, he cares so much. He's running the camera today, TD, coming down from Minot, and he's running our camera.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't be more excited for all of us joining forces with the PSP Network. All right, we'll take a break. Our halftime activities roll on from Mandan tonight. At the break, we'll come back with the first half stats, team and individual numbers, and more come up after this timeout. At the break, on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, it is Century 21, Mandan 14.
Financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Alongside Chuck Claremont, Todd Darmery's back at the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan. Beautiful venue and a great night for football. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast tonight. Had a little bit of everything in that first half as Century leads 21-14. Good to have our producer tonight, Nick Holberg, in attendance, running the stuff for us and managing the efforts. Hope you're enjoying our digital audio and video broadcast tonight as Chuck, Century leads by 7. And tell us the story, first half and individual and team numbers.
Well, that's the sad thing. Take a look at these numbers, at least just from the team statistics and individual. You're not going to really get a story necessarily, but we're sure talk about it. As Peyton Arndt, 7 carries, 15 yards for him. Jacob Bosley, 2 for 44. He's got a big 42-yard run in that first series that led to a touchdown for the Patriots. Brady Dahl, 6 carries, 8 yards, including a 4-yard touchdown run on the first possession for the Patriots. And then Brady Dahl throwing, came out on fire, had completed his first 2 passes for 39 yards and then threw a couple interceptions and then ended up with that big 53-yard completion. So he ended up in the first half 4 for 7 for 91 yards. I guess Paul Osmond give him a 0 for 1 on the punt, whereas he had a bad snap and threw the punt. They called it an incomplete pass. Receiving the ball for the Patriots, Renz has 1 for 22. Arndt has 2 for 52. And then Trayton Hinderer has 1 for 17. For the Mandan Braves, Lincoln Wiseman's the workhorse with carries at least. 11 carries, 8 net yards. He had a 17-yard loss on a bad snap, so he'd really have about 25 yards had not been for that snap. Brendan Palmer, 3 carries for 7 yards, and the quarterback Max Carlson had 2 carries for 2 yards. Carlson throwing the football, 9 for 16, 98 yards. He does have interception in that first half, and his favorite receivers, Try Frank. Boy, Frank, 6 catches, 60 yards. Carson Jablonski has 2 for 25, and Luke Darris has 1 for 13. For some team stats, 15 rushes for the Patriots for net 67 yards. That includes a couple sacks, net loss of 8 for the Patriots. Mandan, 16 carries for just 17 yards. So that stout rushing defense, again, for the Braves, or for the Century Patriots, boy, holding true to form. 16 carries, just a little over 1 yard net per carry for Mandan, 17 total yards. 4 for 8 total passing tonight for Century, 2 interceptions, and 91 yards passing for the Braves. 9 of 16, 1 interception, 98 net yards for the Braves. So 23 plays is all for the Patriots in that first half in 6 possessions, for a total of 158 yards. The Braves have 32 plays for 115 yards. Just 1 fumble for Mandan, but they got it back. That's Jablonski late in that first half. Each team punting the ball very well. 1 punt for 46 yards for the Patriots, 1 for Mandan for 47, although what doesn't include that is the bad snap punt that ended up being an incompletion, so you throw that in there, and the special teams was 1 of 2 for the Patriots, and 50% isn't good when you're talking special teams. Penalties, the Braves, no penalties in the first half, so very well played half there. 4 penalties for the Patriots for 25 yards. 5 first downs for Century compared to 7 for Mandan. No sacks for Century, although they do have a bunch of pressures for sure. And then Mandan has 2 sacks and back-to-back plays by Aaron Grubb. Interception tonight, Jacob Bosley has 1 interception. He got it about the 50-yard line, went right down. There's no return on that one. Mandan has 2 big interceptions, one by Tri Frank, as when Century was driving, and there's in Century's second possession. And then a big one by Jackson Scott as he stepped in front of a pass by Brady Dahl at the 41-yard line and took it to the house for a pick 6. So the first half, Todd, while the numbers maybe they say it, 158 yards to 115, Century's up by 7, but boy, there's a lot behind the scenes or in between those numbers that don't tell the story about that first half.
Yeah, indeed. The rushing and passing stats were only part of the equation in the first half in this one, as Century leads by a touchdown. Thanks to Chuppy Clinic for bringing you tonight's game. Chuppy Clinic is concerned about the overall health and wellness of their patients and offer care and services to meet the greater demands of your current health needs. Find them online at chuppy.com. One little tidbit, Chuck, in from the Fargo Shanley and Minot. Check that, the Fargo Shanley and Jamestown football game. John Gores reportedly has a bazillion yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. So apparently the Jamestown Blue Jays didn't watch John Gores light up St. Mary's like we did last week, where he had 6 catches, 150 yards plus, and 2 TDs in the first half against the St. Mary's Saints. So
yes, one thing too, let me make a correction already on my own, is as Arndt has a touchdown run of 3 yards in that first half too. As I was writing down, I put Arndt 53-yard touchdown pass. Well, that was a catch, and he really just had a 3-yard touchdown run on the very next play. So Arndt was 8 for 18, including a 3-yard touchdown run.
What you're watching is the Mandan High School Marching Braves having senior night, so they're recognizing all those senior performers in the Mandan Marching Braves, and so that will be extending our halftime a little bit here as we'll take a break. Our second half comes up in just a few moments. Halftime score, BNC National Bank scoreboard, it's Century 21, Mandan 14.
That's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Todd Darmays, Nick Holberg, Chuck Claremont back at the Star Inn Sports Complex, getting set for second half action. Century got out to a 7-0 lead on a Brady Dahl first quarter touchdown run. Mandan answered with a pick six by Jackson Scott, 41 yards to the house. Mandan tied it up at 7. Century got a blocked field goal return by Trayton Hinderer, 70 yards to the house. Century led 14-7. Mandan countered with a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in the ensuing kickoff by Carson Jablonski, tied it up at 14. And then Peyton Arndt with a 3-yard touchdown run after a long reception by Peyton Arndt late in the first half gave Century the 7-point lead that they have secured right now as we get set for our second half kickoff.
Number 91.
Alex Wagner will be doing the kickoff duties for the Mandan Braves. The wind has settled and nice second half of football upcoming. Wagner with the run-up. Low line driving kick is going to bounce into the hands of Jacob Renz. Renz to the 20, 25, weaves his way out to the 30, and he's bottled up at the 32-yard line. And the Century Patriots offensive unit will come out. It's been kind of a Dow Jones half for the Century offense in the first half.
Yeah, ultimately, Todd, they've scored one time or two, the first and the last possession, right? They scored on a 4-yard touchdown run and a 70-yard drive there. And then they scored their sixth possession on a 59-yard drive. So they've sandwiched some bad 4 possessions in between. So we'll see if they come out and can get things started.
Hinder wide to the right. Renz in motion to the near side. Handoff, second man through. There goes Arndt. Right down Broadway goes the tailback Arndt, and the junior gets a few out to the 36-yard line before he's wrapped up there by Brendan Palmer of the Mandan Braves.
Just a good, hard, straight-ahead run, and that's as a coach that's kind of a meat and potatoes guy, and Coach Ron Wingemaki, that, hey, we're going to get started. We're going to get the line of scrimmage. We're going to win this line of scrimmage, and that's how we're going to get ourselves to victory. So if you're a lineman, you love it.
Adam Schmidt brings the play in for the Century Patriots, and the Century offensive unit has its second down and 6. This time they're going to fake it on a wide side jet sweep, and there goes the quarterback, Brady Dahl. He's going to have a first down rumble off that fake on the smoked pattern as they fake it to Renz. Jackson Scott spills Brady Dahl, but not until he gallops out to the 44-yard line of first down and a new set of downs for Century.
Yeah, I love the action. First you fake it to Arndt, then you fake the jet sweep by Jacob Bosley, by Jacob Renz. Keep an eye on that one, Todd. They're going to come back to that one.
Trahan wide to the left. Century with twins left, one receiver right. And there goes the quarterback Dahl on a design run and good yardage as he pile drives his way into Mandan territory. Century exclusively on the ground here to start the third quarter. Just a minute and 15 seconds in. Century leading 21-14 as Dahl picks up a quick 7 on first down.
Yeah, and Dahl, as we talked about his size at 195 pounds, he's got 110 yards and 3 touchdowns already in this season. And, traditionally, Century quarterbacks, Coach Wingemach, he likes to have them run.
Second and short for the Patriots, quickly in and out of the huddle. Little stutter step move on a handoff, and there goes Peyton Arndt, securing that football with 2 hands, off left tackle, carries it for a first down to the Mandan 43-yard line, wrapped up and dropped by Aaron Grubb of Mandan.
Yeah, and Century just established that line of scrimmage, so back-to-back first downs on, just straight-ahead run plays. So Century getting their mojo going here early in the second half.
Schmidt and Trayton Hinderer wide to the right. One receiver to left. Handoff and a steady dose of Peyton Arndt here to start the third quarter. This time he's hemmed in. Maybe a gain of 1 to the 42-yard line. The left side of that defensive line for the Mandan Braves, and it might have been Try Frank coming in and cleaning it up from his safety position.
Yeah, finally getting a stop for the Braves, and that's the first time that it had been 4, 8, 6, 7, plays just kind of run right in your face. Now Grubb's coming off. So hopefully he's okay if you're a Mandan Brave fan.
Trips to the left. Dahl going to run it to the right. behind that big offensive line on the right side behind Burkhart and Schweiger, but not much there as Arndt hasn't really gotten a lot of space rushing the football. Got a long reception in the first half, but maybe a couple-yard gain there before Brennan Palmer hits him hard.
Yeah, Palmer, just a great form tackle, went down to the legs of Dahl, picked him up, drove him backwards.
3rd down and 7 for the Patriots.
Century right at the 40-yard line on the far hash mark. Wide side of the field is to the left. The big 6'6 receiver, William Ware, out there to the left, and Dahl is back to pass. Looking, fires it into the slot, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver there. That was Jacob Arenz. Couldn't corral it. Would have had first down yardage at the Mandan 30.
Mendenwall was right there too, Todd. The ball was thrown a little bit behind him as Brady Dahl went a little sidearm on that in route. Would have been short of the first down, but it might have been close enough to put Ron Wingenbach in a position to say he's going to go for it.
Paul Osmond back to do the punting duties, standing at his own 47-yard line. Tri Fank back to receive for Mandan. Century with the snap back. Punt is away, and it's blocked. Blocked. Mandan, can they pick it up and return it? They do to the 31-yard line. Wyatt Peel, the law arms of the law, and special teams are ruling the night here at Mandan, and a big play here will set Mandan up 1st and 10 in Century territory.
Well, that's just an individual effort, Todd. That isn't a punt block. That's Wyatt Peel coming off the edge and just going hard at it and then getting that arms up. We'll give Marnie his mom. She said to me, where I work with his mom, she said, hey, he's got long arms. You got him from me. Well, right there, that was big. Got it, that right paw up and knocked it down.
Mandan 1st and 10 from the Century 31-yard line. Back to passes Carlson. Quick hitter near side. Scott Jablonski, good to see him back in action. Slips through a tackle at the 20. Scampers out of bounds at the 18, make it the 17-yard line. Mandan will have a first down catch and run there by Jablonski of 14 yards.
Yeah, going right at Ryan Brynjolfsson again. And when you're as fast as Jablonski is, and you're a cornerback going, hey, what happens when you got a quick turnover like that? You go deep, and so you gave him 10 yards, and boy, he paid for it.
1st and 10, Mandan. They'll hand it off. Right side run. There goes Wiseman dancing at the 15 to the 10, driving inside the 10 down to the 6. Give Wiseman 12, and Mandan is 6 yards away from tying this football game up with 8:29 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Century leading 21-14. Braves have it 1st and goal. Darris wide to the left. He's a mile out there with the ball on the right hash mark. Wiseman, the lone setback. Carlson out of the pistol, snap back, run ahead for Wiseman, and he's grabbed onto and gang tackled after a gain of 1 to the 5.
Yeah, went right at the heart of the defense there. In the middle, the bigs got big, and Burkhart and Schweiger again drove them back, along with help from Nelson and Bosley, the middle linebackers.
Sam Burr, one of the leaders for Mandan, will bring the play in. Carlson comes over, has a quick conversation with his head coach, Todd Sheldon. Mandan 2nd and 5. 2nd and goal, check that from the 5. Motion by Burr on the short side. High snap, it's loose, it's bobbled, and Carlson, nice job to grab it all the way back at the 14-yard line. And that snap, Chuck, has stymied the Mandan Braves a couple times tonight.
Yeah, and the quarterback was going forward just a tad too, so maybe it was kind of a designed, might have been a quarterback run off tackle, but the ball was high up, and Carlson could not come up with it. Lincoln Wiseman again fell on it, but man, just another bad snap for Gerhardt. Loss of 9 in the play.
7-10 and counting to play 3rd quarter. Century clinging to a 7-point lead. Mandan has it. 3rd and goal now from the 14-yard line. Carlson out of the gun, snap is back, rolling left. Still on the run. Now he has to evade tacklers, and he can't get away. Slung down. Ben Mansmith will get credited for a sack on the play for Century.
Well, they had Jackson Walls. They double-teamed that end and allow the quarterback to get to the outside, and you've got to start with that. But then it was a little run-through blitz by Ben Mansmith, who's been a man among boys tonight for sure, as he did a little run-through, got a quarterback sack. Big play for Mansmith.
Mandan was in this position in the first half and elected to try to kick a field goal. This time they're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 16-yard line. Twins right. Tight end to the left. Carlson out of the gun. 4th and goal. Mandan's going to roll Carlson out to his right. Gets to the hash marks, throws it. He's got Grubb angling for the pylon. No. He's denied. No, check that. That was not Grubb. That was Luke Darris, I beg your pardon. Almost got to that near side pylon, Chuck, but stopped just short, and on downs, Mandan will turn it over after a 14-yard gain on 4th and goal from the 16.
Boy, you rolled out to your right, and nobody was open in the end zone, so he had to go underneath to Darris, and Darris did everything he could, Todd, as he turned upfield, stuck his head down, but was met by 2 Century Patriots at that 2-yard line and shoved him out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a great effort by Darris to try to extend that football out. Now Century in the shadow of their own goal is just going to sneak it, and Brady Dahl gets a couple yards. Actually gets about 3 out to the 5-yard line on the QB sneak just to get out of the shadow of your own goal with 5:55 to play. 3rd quarter. Century on your BNC National Bank scoreboard leads 21-14.
Yeah, you got to like the 4-yard quarterback sneak. Brady Dahl, that's his 5th run of this second half. He has been a workhorse right now, Todd. 11 carries, 30 yards.
Tonight's game brought to you by Tires Plus. You can't go wrong with Tires Plus. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. 2nd and 6 for the Patriots, and Brady Dahl is just going to sneak it again, and he's carrying people out for a first down. 2 quarterback sneaks, and the Patriots get 10 yards. Move the chains. Clock stops momentarily, but you got to like that. If you're in the shadow of your own goal, Chuck, you can call 2 QB sneaks and get a first down. That's pretty good.
And he went to the left side too. It was Walls and Katie, but it's a double team on that nose guard of Brady Bame, and he picked the right side, and Brady Dahl just stuck his head down and drove forward. So that is a huge 3 or 2 plays there to get a first down.
Century will set him down 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Now Arndt gets a handoff, slips through the initial line of scrimmage, gets to the 2nd level, and he carries people out near the 20-yard line, going to be marked down at the 21-yard line. That's one of the best runs of the night for Peyton Arndt. Give him 9 on 1st down.
It looked like he was hit by Devin Church. Now, I haven't seen that name very often. Devin Church is in the backfield, Todd, on the playing a little free safety.
Century now, 2nd down and 1. Patriots with a receiver to either side. Dahl's under center. Handoff, Arndt. Ooh, he's stuck, but he falls off that tackle and carries it out to the 25-yard line. Ends up picking up 4 yards after he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Was the junior tailback Peyton Arndt. Slipped off that tackle and has a first down carry for Century.
Yeah, that was McCoy Keller ended up bringing him down, but the bigs for the Patriots right now, they're starting to control that line of scrimmage, and Mandan's looking a little bit tired right now, TD, on that front line.
You see a few hands on the hips there already here just midway and change through the 3rd quarter. Century imposing their will. Now it's going to be a design keeper. Wide side run for Brady Dahl. Oh, he's cut down. Nice play by the corner, Try Frank, as he jackknifes down the quarterback, Brady Dahl, after a short gain.
I thought I saw a flag in the play, Todd. Maybe not. Nope. I thought I saw somebody come running in from the backside.
Oh, yep, there is a flag right at the 31-yard line there on the far sideline. So they're talking to the Mandan captains.
I feel like I'm looking through the screen door watching the football game here. It was light out in the field. It was okay.
Wasn't that the movie My Cousin Vinny, where they were in the cross-examination and they're saying, could you really see through that screen door those kids coming out of that shop? And no, they couldn't.
No, they couldn't. And
going to be a hold on the on the Century Patriots.
5 yards downfield, so they'll give Dahl 5 yards, and then you'll take a 10 back to the 20-yard line.
15 for the Patriots.
Clock rolls with 4:07 to play, 3rd quarter. Century on top on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, 21-7. Patriots out of the gun. And they'll motion. Fake a jet sweep. Brady Dahl off the right side. He slips, and he's got room. He rumbles, he twists, he turns. He somersaults his way for a first down. Does Brady Dahl, that QB keeper, is working for the Patriots here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Frank twists him and throws him I'm down. But ultimately, when you got Bosley and Arndt, you're running behind right now, and the quarterback, so you got an extra blocker in there, or 2 extra blockers, or 1 for that matter. And I like the way Brady Dahl's running right now. He's definitely running downhill.
Century with a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from their 37-yard line. Twins left. They pull Schweigert, hand it off Arndt, and not much there. Bottled up. Arndt gets out of there somehow.
Yeah,
and he carries it for a couple yards.
Well, everybody was tackling Bosley on that one, Todd. I was kind of watching the same spot. It was a great ball fake to Bosley, and Arndt got it and had slithered out of that tackle, busted to the outside, and picked up. I mean, instead of losing, you picked up 2.
Peyton Arndt with the carry for a couple. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Medicine Shop of Bismarck. They're proud to support local athletes. The Medicine Shop in Bismarck brings you tonight's game on the PSP network. Century motions Renz. This time they'll hand it off to him on a jet sweep. Wide side run for Bosley. For Jacob Renz. And he carries that to the 44-yard line. Short gain on the play, knocked down there by Jackson Scott.
Well, you knew eventually they were going to give it to him. You couldn't fake it to him all night. And they picked a time, thought, okay, we got 2nd and 8. Let's give it to Wren, see if he can't be a playmaker. As Wren has 26 yards in the season, picks up 5 yards.
2:18 and counting to play here in the third quarter. Big third down for the Century Patriots, 3rd and 3 to be exact, from their own 44-yard line. Century will motion again. They'll fake it to Brynjolfsson, and there goes Dahl. He's got a first down again. Got a good push ahead from his line. Kept those legs churning, and the QB Dahl near midfield has a gain of 5 on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that's the ninth carry for Brady Dahl already in the second half, Toddy. He's got 55 yards, and it's 1 attempt in the air. So you talk about the Century going back that was like 64-36 run versus pass. Well, guess what? You're close to about 90-10 right now in the second half.
Century this time will hand it off to the fullback Bosley, straight ahead running, and he's into Mandan territory. Spilled down there by that Mandan interior, their defensive line. Grubb was in on there. And they're going to give Bosley a gain of 3 as Century just a clock-eating drive here in the third quarter.
Yeah, started at 6:05 on their own 2-yard line, Todd. And so it's been all runs right now for the Patriots on this drive.
Why not? Century 2nd down and 7. Handoff, second man through. Arndt. This one he's going to bounce outside. Can he get to the edge? No. Just about got those 4 wheels going. Arndt is close to first down yardage. Knocked down there by the corner.
Mendenhall,
yep.
Mendenwall, sorry. And nice stiff arm right there by Peyton Arndt, too. That right hand just right into the helmet of Tri Frank.
Century with another 3rd down and 1. They've been on schedule. Dahl is going to sneak it. Gets a shove from Bosley, and he'll have another first down again. Squirts through a hole, and they're going to mark Brady Dahl all the way to the 36-yard line. So that's a 6-yard gain again on a QB sneak. That's uncanny how many yards Century has gotten on the sneak in this quarter.
They are just wearing out the front guys. And part of the issue, too, Todd, is Locken, Gress, Boehm, and Grubb all go both ways. So you get to the second half, and when you've got guys like Schweigert and Walls and Edlin and Burkhardt hanging on you, leaning on you, you're bound to get a little tired.
And it looks like Century's going to let this clock expire here in the third quarter. 1 second differential between the play clock and the game clock. And we have reached the end of the third quarter tonight from Mandan. Mandan down by 7. The home team, the visitors, lead by 7 and a quarter break. At the end of 3 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, it's the Century Patriots 20-21 and the Mandan Braves 14. We're back after this timeout on the PSP Network.
Here's your real answer. BSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
If you told me 10 years ago I'd be a dad, homeowner, and business partner, I wouldn't have believed it. There's lots of reasons I chose First Western.
Hey, Lloyd. How are you today?
Locally owned, community invested, convenient, but most of all, whatever I need, wherever I am, I can count on them.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Back in action here in the fourth quarter. Century on 1st and 10. Steady dose of Peyton Arndt straight ahead running. And Arndt picks up a couple yards, give him 3. Down to the 33-yard line. Century got the ball about midway through the third quarter at their own 1.5-yard line, and they haven't given it back to Mandan. They're playing keep away right now, folks.
13 straight runs, Todd, mixed in between. Bosley got one of them, but between Arndt and Brady Dahl mixing up the rest of them.
Direct snap to Dahl, QB run, and they're gashing Mandan right now. Dahl churns his way to the Mandan 20-yard line, 13 more yards right down Broadway for the QB Dahl.
Yeah, the arm tackles are not working right now, Todd, as Century is just absolutely fired up. The line's firing off. Mandan Braves are they're backpedaling right now. They're doing their best Deion Sanders impersonation. Got skates on.
BNC Bank scoreboard update. Final score from the Sanford Sports Complex in Bismarck. West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Legacy 36-7. Century into the red zone, 1st and 10 from the Mandan 20. This time Arndt tries to dance outside, and he's stood up. Stood up and spilled. No gain on the play. Sam Burr there to lay a lick on him.
Yeah, if I'm Mandan, you got to start doing some blitzing, some different things, Todd, because getting guys into the backfield in between some of those blocks is right now the guys up front are getting off their blocks and picking off the linebackers. That was the first time in this entire drive that one of the linebackers, you heard their name at all.
Century exclusively on the ground this entire drive. They marched it from the Mandan 1.5-yard line. Dahl's under center. They fake a run, and there goes the quarterback Dahl, and he's got a good gain again. Drives his way inside the 15, finally marked down at the 14-yard line, a gain of 7 on the QB keep for Dahl. Spilled there by McCoy Keller of Mandan.
Keller tackled him from behind. I was watching that kind of right on the shoot here as that fake handoff to Peyton Arndt going to his left, and then he stuck his foot in the ground and then went right to that right side. Man, if it wasn't for the little shoestring tackle by Keller, boy, TD, he may be in the end zone.
Century on 3rd down and 4 from the Mandan 14-yard line. Handoff, Arndt. Ooh, and he's dropped. Smacked down in the backfield, undressed by Aaron Grubb, your returning All-State defensive end.
He came off the backside. He did not get picked up at all. I think he probably had weak side, so just 2 defenders on that side. And you've got to pick up when you got an All-Stater like that. You cannot come off that block. You got to come back off and pick him up. And, man, just a huge play by Grubb again.
Century with a late decision here as going to send out the field goal unit, but I think they're going to have to call timeout first, as no official indication yet. But the Patriots don't have anybody at the line of scrimmage. Coach Wingenbach just let that play clock drip down, and now he does indeed call timeout. Hub International Insurance timeout on the field. Call 355-3100 and ask for Michael Borman for your commercial insurance needs. Century will be 4th down, attempting a field goal when we come back. 8:56 to play. Fourth quarter. BNC Bank scoreboard at Century 21, Mandan 14. We're back after this break on the PSP Network.
No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options, and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
Century will be attempting a 33-yard field goal. Good thing they called timeout because they didn't even have their holder out there, did the Patriots. Duncan Tufte is on now to hold. Katie with the snap, low snap, it's down. It's going to be a fire drill. Tufte has to pick it up, and he can't get away. Wyatt Peel, and that Mandan defense stands up tall. Denies that long, time-consuming drive for Century, but no points go on the scoreboard.
So a bad snap this time by, I don't know if it's Katie snapping for the Patriots, but it was just on the inside of the holder, and you could just tell, Todd, something wasn't right about that. First of all, the holder, he lined up 9 yards deep instead of 7. So he had to move up. The kicker had to reset his feet. That was a bust from the beginning.
Mandan will hand it off, and there's a run-through as Lincoln Wiseman, he gets absolutely pile-driven down after a loss of about 3.
Wiseman on the carry.
Yeah, they're right now. Mandan's going, okay, or Century's going, all right, we know what you're running. You're running these off-tackle things. We've got this figured out. We've got the line of scrimmage taken care of. We're going to start blitzing Bosley, Mansmith, Nelson, you name it, giving the quarterback or the running just no time at all and no holes.
Might have been Jaden Braun there, the first guy to put a hit on him. Tackle for a loss, the TFL for Century. 2nd and 13 for Mandan. 8:15 and counting to play here in the third quarter. Check that fourth quarter, Century leading by 7. They empty the backfield. Snap is back. There goes Carlson. Stops in the pocket. Throwback deep ball down the near sideline. Receiver stumbled in try Frank. Renz Island, Jacob Renz, the closest guy to the football.
It was actually Darris, Todd, going to the backside, and Darris kind of stumbled too. It looked like he stopped. Quarterback wanted to throw it deep, and that would have been a good opportunity there as a little jump ball as Darris goes 6'4", and you got Renz out there at 5'11", but the ball was thrown over the head of Darris because he stopped on a backside throw.
Well, Mandan now 3rd and long. I'm not holding the ball too long here if I'm Carlson because I think Century's coming.
Yep.
3rd and 13 from the Mandan 18. Twins left, one receiver right. Snap is back. Rushes on. Quick hitter. They get it out into the flats. Caught by Mendenwall, and not much there. Maybe 5-6 yards on 3rd and long. Spilled on the perimeter by Ben Mansmith. It's going to be a punting situation for the Mandan Braves with 7:45 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Mansmith had the flat on the inside, and he came back, peeled back on the play, Todd, ended up catching Mendenwall from the back, from behind.
Mandan, Tristan Ulmer back to punt. Ryan Brynjolfsson back deep to receive for the Patriots. Snap is back. Punt is away. Ooh. Good punt down the far sideline. Almost was blocked. Brynjolfsson picks it up at his own 32-yard line. Stops. Near side return. Good return. There goes Brynjolfsson to the midfield stripe to the 40. He's loose at the 30. And he's going to be tackled right there. What a play by Brynjolfsson. Went all the way back to his 30-yard line, picked it up on a hop, made one jab to the wide side, and then just snuck up that Century sideline for a huge punt return for Century. They just turned it over a moment ago on a missed field goal in the spot, Chuck. They're right back in business.
Well, first a 44-yard punt. It was a great punt, but Brynjolfsson decided to pick it up instead of letting it roll one more time at the 32-yard line, and then went right down the sidelines. Some great blocking by the Patriots. And what does he go? 38 yards on that return.
1st and 10 Patriots from the Mandan 30-yard line. Dahl ducks under center. Handoff. And it looked like that was Reagan on the carry, his first carry of the night.
Yeah,
nope.
Was it Trevor Reagan?
Isaiah Pajamula.
Yeah, Pajamula. He's been running the football quite a bit too. TD is Pajamula, 20 carries, 84 yards and a touchdown. So, hey, Hinderer Arndt might be a little bit tired, and why not bring a fresh guy in, give him a couple runs?
Century just letting that play clock roll down with just 6.5 to play here after a 5-yard gain by Pajamula. 2nd and 5. Dahl, handoff. There goes Pajamula again. Cuts it up at the hash mark at the 25. Rolls ahead close to first down yardage. He's marked down just short. 4-yard gain for Pajamula.
And a huge block, Todd. Jordan Jones is in at fullback. He came in and absolutely busted a linebacker and freed up Pajamula to pick up 4 yards.
And Jones is the blocking fullback for the Patriots. You'll see him a lot in those quarterback leads as Dahl's going to muscle his way close to first down yardage. Another QB sneak. Mandan bottled it up better than they have been,
Yeah.
but it's still going to be a first down for Century as the Patriots move into the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and just let the clock roll, as you say. 20 carries, 96 yards for Brady Dahl. A number of them just the simple quarterback sneak, Todd.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tires Plus. All the brands on their one roof with guaranteed lowest prices, and there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. Handoff, this time Arndt, straight up the middle for the Patriots.
Trevor Reagan.
Nope, that was
the
Trevor
carry.
Reagan. Yep. Arndt getting a little blow here as they bring in the Pajamula and that running back stable for the Century Patriots, and Trevor Reagan will pick up 2.
Brendan Palmer on the stop.
Yeah, Locken was right there, Turner, Locker, and Palmer in the stop, but Braves have got to come up with a stop here. Thanks, Tips, right?
Century will empty the backfield.
How about that for color?
Twins to the left, one receiver to the right. They motion Renz, and somebody forgot
There's
the
a
snap
flag
count
of the
there.
play.
Everybody was moving except nobody snapped the football for the Patriots, and that's going to set Century back 5. Been a pretty clean game penalty-wise.
I don't think Mandan has one. They think they had one penalty, but they denied it.
Yep.
Look, that's a new one. Declined it.
It's a denial of a decline.
Right.
5-yard penalty will set Century back. False start. 21-14 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. 5:03 to play in the game.
Once again,
Good to have the
that
Medicine
BC
Shop bringing you tonight's
card.
game. They're proud to support
The name
local
of the card
athletes.
is
The
the
Medicine
same
Shop
K.
in Bismarck.
Oh, the
Call
Raji.
now and get your flu shots.
That is your name. Please
Yeah, boy, do
come
we got
to
some
the press
opportunities
box
for the
with
plays of the
some
game or the
identification
moves of the game today, man.
your
You got a lot to
exactly.
pick from.
Again, Hussein K.
As
Oh,
Chuck gave me a
Doc
good
Raji,
segue there. Hey, the Jobbers
that's
move of the
name
game.
the card, so bring
Focus
your
on the
ID
details of
to
the
press
process.
box
Find them
to claim
online
it.
at jobberswarehouse.com. They'll bring you the move of the game after tonight's broadcast. Play action. Dahl rolling out. Fires it far sideline looking for Ware. It's tipped up, and it's battered around a couple times with it pinballs and hits the field turf.
Incomplete.
And an incomplete pass will stop the clock with 4:33 to play. Dahl looking for his big 6'6 receiver, William Ware, at the 10-yard line.
And then he had just a great play by Mendenwall coming up and sticking the sophomore, hitting the junior, and ball went up in the air. I mean, it could have been caught, but then fortunately for Mandan, they knocked it away. So I didn't see who they did run through, too, because, boy, the quarterback Dahl, he got popped.
Clock stops on the incompleted pass. 4:33 to play in the football game. Trips to the left.
Motion again,
I
right?
get motion again. Look at that Mandan stampede. Oh, is this timeout by Century? Yep, good catch there, partner. A Hub International Insurance timeout on the field. Hub International Insurance located on Burnt Boat Drive in northwest Bismarck. We break fourth quarter action from Mandan tonight. BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's Century 21, Mandan 14.
Source Financial Plan, or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Mandan stampede in full force. Century rolling out. Dahl under pressure. Now he's got to tuck it and scramble. Bounces off a couple tacklers. Now he gets pushed ahead for about 4 more yards. And Brady Dahl on third and long carries it to the Mandan 16, make it the 17-yard line. And now will Century go for another field goal attempt here, Chuck? Or
maybe Mandan. I mean, they were blitzing, Todd. They had Brigham the house on the right side, and Just a tremendous effort for Brady Dahl, stepping up, kind of denying a sack, and then turning up, and boy, he put a pop on Jackson Scott. I can promise he's feeling that one.
The field goal.
Osmond on to attempt a 34-yard field goal. This time the snap is back, hold is down. Osmond, low kick, wide left. Low and left, and the Mandan defense is not budging here in the second half.
Wow. I mean, Mandan is dodging some bullets. They're stepping up when they have to. It went from the 30-yard line, and on that play, they drove it down to the 17. Had some big stops after that penalty, a couple incomplete passes. I mean, the Mandan defense stiffened.
Century and Mandan battling to a draw here in the second half. It was 21-14 at halftime. Mandan will spread you out now. And now you get a late flag, and is there going to be a legal substitution? As Mandan had 12 men in the huddle, they tried to sneak a guy off.
Illegal substitution.
Well, that's
on the offense.
Can't have that.
5-yard penalty.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Chuppy Clinic in Bismarck. Chuppy Clinic offers more than just basic adjustments of the spine. Find them online at chuppy.com.
Somebody wanted to get in the game, TD.
Yeah. 1st and 15 for Mandan from their own 15-yard line. Snap is back. Blitz is on. Century rushing through the middle, but Carlson escapes and just throws it away into the Century bench. Incomplete pass. Second and out, 15 now for the Mandan Braves.
I had that as a key to the game in mind. I had deep pressure on Carlson. They're getting pressure on him. They're not getting sacks, Todd, because Carlson's just crafty back there. But, boy, they're getting pressure on him, forcing him to roll out and just throwing the ball away. That's a veteran play right there. If you're a college coach and you see that and going, okay, that's a guy I may want on my team in the next level.
2nd and 15 for the Braves. One receiver to the wide side, Century with a couple deep safeties. They blitz up the middle. 5-man rush into the flat. Gets dumped off to the tight end Grubb. Scampers out of bounds. Does Aaron Grubb at the 19-yard line. A short gain of 4. Back to the original line of scrimmage goes Mandan. 3rd down and long upcoming for the Braves.
Well, Century blitzed. And finally, instead of having Grubb go up the middle, they had him go to the flat side, which was wide open once you had a linebacker in Ben Mansmith clearing the way. So good call, good fire play there.
Clock stops with 3:31 to play in the game. 3rd down and 11 for the Braves. They got to get to the 30 for a first down. Carlson back to pass. Century will rush 5. Throws it a one-hopper looking for a little slant, and that was intended for Try Frank.
Boy, did they have Lincoln Wiseman wide open, Todd, on a swing pass. Nobody was around him, and the quarterback just threw it down in the ground. I couldn't see if he got hit on his follow-through, but I think you got a punt, don't you?
Yeah, with all 3 timeouts remaining and 3:27 to play in the game, Mandan will indeed send out that punting unit. Problem is if you can't stop Century rushing the football, you might not get the football back.
And I don't want to kick it to Brynjolfsson after the last return of
Tristan Ulmer punts it away. Deep kick far sideline. Brynjolfsson's going to let that one bounce and angle out of bounds. At the 42-yard line, Century will take over 1st and 10 with 3:20 to play in the football game. Minder after the game, we'll have our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors helping clients work towards financial freedom.
Thanks to Eric Aldinger and Perry Bowl and Tyler Liffrig.
Absolutely.
They're not just good golfers, they're good guys, they're good, right?
Century, 1st and 10 from the 41. A couple first downs, and Century could ice this one away. Full house backfield. Handoff. Peyton Arndt after a wrested possession last time. Arndt driving to the 45-yard line. Make it the 46. Give him 4 before he's gang tackled there by Mandan.
Well, if there's any one time when Mandan's going to start bringing the house, if you're a defensive coordinator, now's the time. So Century, to me, I don't think they're going to do it, Todd, but to me, a little play-action pass, you might have Jacob Renz wide open.
Yeah, but you just got 4 yards on first down, so you're on schedule.
I said he ain't going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Century's got the full house. They got the beef in the backfield, and they give it off to Peyton Arndt. Puts his head down, just drives ahead. Century just 3 yards in a cloud of dust here is it's good enough for Century right now. Is we'll have it third down and medium upcoming here for the Patriots. Is now we get a penalty
must
flag.
Be a flag. Yeah, it must be a holding because you're marking it back from the line of scrimmage. Oh, a chop. What do they call it?
Illegal shift.
Oh, okay. So
I think what it was is the Patriots had their big fullback back there, and he wasn't set. He was just kind of still getting into his stance when the ball got snapped, and so it's an illegal shift.
7th penalty for the Patriots, 45 yards.
2nd down and 10 now for the Patriots after that 5-yard penalty. Century will send 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Dahl out of the gun. Got Arndt standing beside him. They fake it to Arndt, and Dahl runs it. This time, Mandan diagnoses it.
They're bringing everybody, Todd. I'm watching. It's man-to-man on the outside with the corners, and Mandan, Wall, and Nolan Johnson. And you're bringing Ty Frank, the strong safety. He blitzed off the edge there.
And a Hub International Insurance timeout. Mandan burns their first TO here of the second half. Hub International Insurance agents Leif Olson and Josh Cattell. Call them for all your personal insurance needs. 355-3100. BNC Bank scoreboard with 2:20 to play in the football game. It's Century 21, Mandan 14.
I don't know. Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Purchase 4 eligible Firestone tires and receive up to $120 in a prepaid Visa gift card. Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
BNC has been here for over 25 years.
Third down and 9 for the Patriots. They motion Renz. A handoff, weak side run. There goes Peyton Arndt, and he gets a couple stacked up there. And the Mandan Braves will burn timeout number 2 with 2:14 to play in the football game. Century on top by 7, and Mandan has just burned their final timeout. But, Chuck, they're going to get the football back. Century on 4th and 7 here will be in a punting situation.
They did what they needed to do from the defensive side of the ball. I think back to the opening game of the season against the Demons. They had the football and an opportunity in the last possession to potentially do something, and boy, they put a scare in the Demons. Had a couple plays to end the football game to potentially get a score. So right now, hey, the Century defense is, they've been stalwarts, but Mandan, they've got some guys to do it. Max Carlson, he sure is. This guy right now in this football game, what is he today? He's 13 of 23. He's got 135 yards. He does have interception, but boy, the pressure that Century's put on him. He really has done a good job. Look for when Mandan gets the football, Todd. Going back to that swing pass.
Yeah. Well, Paul Osman will punt it away. Century's had some trouble with snaps, so watch out for that here. As with 2:14 to play in the game, Patriots, Mandan has nobody back. Patriots going to punt this away. Osman, quick hitter, and that's partially blocked.
No, it's his own guy, Todd. He kicked it right into the back of Jacob Bosley. Well, it wasn't blocked. Literally, he kicked it right into the butt of Jacob Bosley. It was a tight punt.
Yeah, Osman only took one step, was just trying to keep. Mandan had nobody back. All he had to do is get it away.
So I don't know who you give the block to.
The Century Special Teams unit gives Mandan the football at the 38-yard line. Late drama as the Braves have a short field with 2:10 to play in the contest. Max Carlson with one receiver right, twins to the left. Mandan back to pass. Deep drop. They swing it out, and this time falling down immediately after the catch is Lincoln Wiseman. The flag is down.
There's the call we said, Todd. But you go to the short side of the field where there was no room there. What do you got, an ineligible man downfield maybe, or what's the call here?
As we get the white hats for the official indication. Going to be a hold on the Mandan Braves.
That's cute. You just can't do that.
Reminder after the game, we'll have our MVP of the game, player of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips in Bismarck, where they've got the MVP haircut experience. Sport Clips located at 411 South 3rd Street in Bismarck.
It ends up being a 14-yard penalty, Todd. So you got the ball 1st and 10 at Century's 38. Now you got 2nd and 24.
Mandan has Frank.
Or 1st and 24, I should say.
Mendenwall wide to the left, one receiver to the right. Carlson back to pass. This time he throws it in the flat. Swing pass caught by Lincoln Wiseman. Can't get away from the strong safety. Braden Hendricks, however, good tackle in space there for the Patriots.
Yeah, they've had it sniffed out now. I'm gonna bet somebody from Century said, hey, whoa, somebody's got to pick up 21. And back-to-back times they've done it, Todd.
2nd and long, 90 seconds to play. Deep drop, wheel route. He's got Mendenwall tackled out of bounds. Into Century territory goes Mandan to the 41-yard line. It's going to be a 16-yard gain, maybe a 15-yard gain. But Mandan has it now 3rd and a much more manageable 13 yards to go as the clock stops with 1:24 to play, and Mandan down by 7.
Plus he got out of bounds.
Yep.
3rd down.
As you said, clock stopped.
For the Braves.
3rd and 13. Mandan's got to get to the 28-yard line of Century for a first down. We haven't seen much of Carson Jablonski here in the second half.
No.
Mandan back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Carlson gets away deep down the sideline. A jump ball incomplete. Intended for Tri Frank. Mandan wants a pass interference, but no flag down, and it'll be 4th down upcoming for the Braves.
Renz Island on the man-to-man play there, Todd, all over Tri Frank, and that's just good defense right there. The Mandan contingent they do not like it, but I think it's a great play as the quarterback Max Carlson eluded a rush and then just threw the ball up in the air.
Well, this is going to be a must pickup for the Braves. 4th and 14. Check that, 4th and 13 from the near side hash mark. Wide side is the right side. Darris, the one receiver to the right. And Century is going to burn a timeout. We'll keep this right here as we get a Hub International Insurance timeout. Call 355-3100 and ask for Michael Borman for all your commercial insurance needs. It's good to have Hub International Insurance bringing you our timeouts.
I'm trying to find Carson Jablonski, TD. I don't even see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, he tweaked that leg in the first half, and I don't think we've seen much of him here in the second half. He's standing at the 48-yard line.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Stretching out that ankle, it looks like.
There he is, yeah. So you're right, he has not been in there. And when you got a weapon like that not in there, that's huge if you're a defender or a defensive coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't have the speed. They got decent receivers, right? But when you got a guy with huge, speed where he probably runs a 4.5.
Well, he frees things up for every other receiver that's out there because he's such a threat. You got to respect him on every snap. Darris wide to the right. Mendenwall and Frank wide to the left. Mandan needs 13 yards to keep this drive going. Snap is back. Carlson, deep drop. Flat-footed throw, and that's going to be intercepted. No, it's dropped as Century's Jacob Bosley had it in his paws, and now a late flag comes out.
What are they going to throw? Is they going to throw somebody like it's after the play, so no matter what, the ball's going to get turned over because the flag came about. Either it's going to be some type of personal foul or
maybe a delay of game for spiking the football or something
the
crazy
official
like that.
The threw it was way away from it. The guy that was right next to the spike caught it, didn't throw the flag.
Yeah. It didn't really delay the game too much, but anyway.
But it was a guy way in the back right next to, there was one, I couldn't see the number for Century. There was one Century defender and then a couple blockers for the Mandan Braves. I don't know if there was some John going on in the backfield.
Well, this will be interesting. If this extends the drive for the Mandan Braves, that would be the gift of the month. On a 4th down and 13, you almost throw an interception and then you get a first down, but the Zebras are conferring.
I mean, no matter what, it feels like it's after the play. It feels like it's 4th down, incomplete pass, great rush by the Patriots. Mandan was forced to just kind of try to throw it away, and it went right to the hands of Bosley, who dropped it.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep. After the play was over, good catch there, partner.
15-yard penalty. First down, Century.
They can clap, but ultimately it's not going to matter. Now they're jawing back and forth because the call was on 54. I know that's because I was watching. He's the one that ran away. So Braun he was in the backfield and he came all the way over. He was looking back and it was him and the entire Mandan defense.
Coach Sheldon now get an explanation. So now it's going to be after the play is over was the call. So Century now is in a situation, folks, where a few kneel downs with Mandan with one timeout remaining and just 1:13 to play in the game. Century is going to step into a victory formation. Dahl's under center, and he takes a knee. Mandan does not burn their final timeout. Is Century, looks like, unless they bobble a snap here or something, folks, that they're going to win their 27th consecutive football game and a scoreless second half. Century had all they could handle tonight on the home field of the Mandan Braves. Reminder, our post-game show comes up next, brought to you by the Planning Team Financial Advisors. They're helping clients work towards financial freedom. Planning Team Financial post-game show comes up in just a few moments. Clock's down to 30 seconds. Dahl takes a snap, and Mandan will not burn a final timeout. If they don't, that'll be the final snap of the football game. Looks like Todd Sheldon's going to take that one timeout with him. Clock's going to drip down to 10, and that's going to be a final score. Your Planning Team Financial postgame show comes up next. A final score from the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan. On your BNC National Bank scoreboard, it's the Century Patriots 21 and the Mandan Braves 14. Our postgame comes up next on the PSP network.
Is dedicated to preventing injuries and saving lives by offering hundreds of safety courses. The NDSC helps workers return home safely every night and make sure schools are ready for any emergency. Our first aid training and defensive driving courses help save lives. We empower people through personal protection courses and operational risk assessments for businesses. We're a private, nonprofit organization committed to making North Dakota's homes, schools, communities, workplaces, and roads the safest in the nation. Learn more at ndsc.org.
Would you enjoy waking up and not having to reach for your glasses? See clearly with LASIK from Bismarck LASIK. Imagine no more hassles or expenses of glasses and contacts. At Bismarck LASIK, our highly experienced LASIK surgeon, Dr. Stephen Wexler, and our state-of-the-art clinic can improve your vision through a quick corrective procedure that's affordable and life-changing. Book your free consultation with Bismarck LASIK. Call 701-222-2020, 701-222-2020, or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
This live digital radio broadcast presentation on the PSP network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at psp.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
I'm going to bring him to the 50.
Have real questions about your future? Here's your real answer. BSC offers hands-on training and a real college experience, making your future a reality. You don't have to travel far and wide for a really great education. Check us out at bismarckstate.edu.
Got big plans? No matter what the size of the project, Bobcat of Mandan has a tough Bobcat skid steer or track loader for any job. Call Bobcat of Mandan and rent the perfect machine. Rentals are available by the day, week, or month with multiple attachment options and even a trailer when available. Special weekend rates too. Bobcat of Mandan also has Doosan excavators and payloaders, plus Coyote tractors for rent. Get the work done fast. Bobcat of Mandan on the Strip.
Financial Postgame Show. Planning Team Financial Advisors, here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online, planningteam.com. Now for the Planning Team Financial Postgame Show.
Todd Darmies, Chuck Claremont, Nick Holberg back at the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan. A final score on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Century wins this one 21-14 over the Mandan Braves. Century led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter to all the remaining points in the second quarter, a halftime score of 21-14. And now Chuck Claremont's down on the sideline. He's got Jacob Renz, Brady Dahl. All right, he'll send it down sideline. Take it away, Chuck.
All right, TD, I got Jacob Renz. Tonight was a night you had some dudes on the Mandan side. Jablonski especially was one guy that you knew you had to go after, and it was a battle for you that first half. But you guys came up big late in the game, and you forced them with some tough throws.
Yeah, they came out firing. They surprised me a little bit. They got some playmakers over there, but I just had to trust my teammates, my coaches, and I just had to play my game.
So give us some conversation about defensively what you guys are playing. Are you man-to-man on that outside, or are you guys playing zone, or what's a little inside baseball in the defense?
It's a mixture of all. It really depends on what they come out in, but, it doesn't really matter what we're in. Our job is just to stop them and get the ball back to our offense.
So last drive of the game, right? They blocked punt, whatever you want to call the punt, okay? 1st and 10 at the 38. Now you guys tightening up. What's going through your mind defensively on that last series?
Just to stay calm. We've been through a lot this season so far. So it's nothing that we haven't been through. We just gotta trust each other and just go out there and play football.
So when you guys are thinking before the game, 26 in a row, is a streak in your mind at all?
No. Our only mindset is the game that we're playing today.
All right. Congratulations. Great job. All right. So let's step in here, Brady Dahl. Tremendous effort for you today. I tell you what, the second half especially, I thought, you shook off a couple interceptions in the first half. In the second half, running the football, you just showed some will. They were not going to stop you.
It's not really me that's doing the work. It's my guys up front, the O-line. So I got to give all my credit to them.
Got to love those quarterbacks who thank the O-line. I appreciate that. And, for you too, though, man, it was like that one drive you started on your own 2-yard line. Even the center sneaks were working time and time again.